Yo, yo, yo. It is the Comic Hall Crew, February the 11th, 2023. This is Al, aka Dusty Brick Brown. To my immediate right, I got Sean, aka Puff Comics 83.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, y'all? We're gonna be holding it down for a minute. We got some late stragglers coming in, everybody got stuff to do, and that's cool. But me and Sean, we holding it down. Sean, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine, man. Had a pretty good Saturday. Went out and did some things, and now I'm ready to chat it up here with the crew. If the rest of the crew jump on, but
word life. I'm gonna let everybody know in advance. I mentioned it last week. I moved. My surrounds are different. Internet. If it trips, I freeze up, and I happen to freeze up, and my eyes are closed. I'm not asleep.
I've been tempted to repost that whole clip.
Hey man, like I told you before, man, you are welcome to. And what Sean's talking about, I was on his show, chatting with the comic community. Go check out his channel. But it was one Saturday afternoon, man, and I was in my car, and I got Verizon, and it was, boy, that signal was terrible that day, and somehow or another it caught me slipping hard. And it was more or less one of them situations where it looked like I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep. So
like you were passed out, slumped over, like that man had a heart attack in the car.
Exactly, and it wasn't even the case. And then it was other panelists on Sean's show, man. They were ragging on me and stuff, and it's like, man, I wasn't asleep. I wasn't asleep. But hey, it's all good. So I'm letting y'all know in advance, if I freeze up, charge it to the internet and not to my heart, because I've been working out some things. But we about to get this show started, and y'all know how we normally do. If you are a regular, if you are new, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your viewership. I was checking the subscribers, man. We like one shot short of 600. So if somebody
last week's episode really benefited, with having Rico on. Not only the boost in subscribers on YouTube, but also on Instagram. We got a lot of new followers on Instagram as well. So last week's episode was really, really good.
Like I said, man, I said it on Instagram when you posted that video. That was one of the most enjoyable streams that I've been on. We've had some good streams since we've been, running with each other. But that particular episode, man, this is one for the books. I've actually gone back a couple of times since last Saturday and watched it. As a matter of fact, a couple of books that he mentioned. Shout out to Rico, Black Key Comics on Instagram. If you're not following them, go ahead and follow him. The man knows what he's talking about. He is a curator to the heart, and he hit me up in the chat saying that he wasn't going to be able to join us, but I told him anytime he wanted to join, he's welcome to it. So, but yeah, if you haven't checked that particular broadcast out last week, it was one of our best. Go back and check it out. It's pretty lengthy, but at the end of the day, yeah, you can learn a lot of stuff by watching that particular video or even listening to it.
Had us taking notes on these books that he was sharing.
I'm telling you, it's about at least two books that he actually. It's at least two books that he showed that. There you go, Matt from Dimension made it from Dimension X. Look at him. What's going on, Mr. Odome? You're on mute, brother.
Tired as hell, man. I'm here, but I'm tired, bro.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, bro. You No Limit Soldier. I thought I told you. I actually thought you was gonna be later than what you are.
I had to push through that rain, man. It is whipping work here in Georgia.
Bro, hey, man, I went to Walmart early, and I'm like, bro, I ain't want to go to Walmart because it was raining. So when it rained, I drive like I'm like 98 years old, so I don't play. I hydroplaned one time years ago. Oh yeah, no,
it is wet on that road. If you're traveling in Georgia tonight, man, y'all do 15 to 20 under the speed limit, my man. It is rough.
It's rough. It's supposed to be raining, and then we're supposed to be getting some cold weather after this rain and stuff. So
ice.
So before we move to the next topic, are we gonna have the Black Comic Lords next week?
We're gonna try to get them on. If y'all watching, be on the lookout. We're gonna try to get y'all boys on next week, man. So be on the lookout.
All right.
Yep. And whatever I'm enjoying this black discussion. To be honest with you. So whatever we don't get to in February, we're gonna make up for it in March anyway. So
we're gonna keep it going.
Keep it going. Yeah, because Black history is not
every
Black
day.
History. It is American history too. So
1866.
Hey, but with that being said, we're gonna go into one of our favorite I started to say skits, one of our favorite segments on the show.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
But my prices are reasonable. What?
Oh, there they go. There.
Al, before you hit it, you could just put up anything DC related and it should be on here.
Oh, I got a couple of things in the DC realm, man. I got a couple of things, but I told Sean before we started, I got 2 books. Shout out there with Swin. What's up, brother? We ain't seen you in a minute. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man. We talked about Eben last week. Yep. Go back and watch it, man. Last week's show was one to remember, man.
We found out last week, man. We're gonna get into this in just a second, that there were actually platinum age comic books. I never knew that before last week. And it just so happened one of the platinum age comic books happened to be a comic, if I'm not mistaken, from 1913 or something, or was it older than that?
It's older than that. I want to say
I think it was older than that. It's the 1800s or something like that. I can't remember. Something like that, but it was old. It was well over 100 plus years old. So, all right. So, fellas, what I decided to do, of course, how we do the segment. The first 2 books I'm going to show is going to be the inverse of what we normally do. So this is Avengers 10 annual. We always talk about this book like all the time. And we talk about how undervalued it is. So I just wanted to show how undervalued this particular book is. A 9.4 CGC for $169.99.
Jeff.
What's up, Jeff?
Yeah, that's about right. It was right around the 1890s. So yeah, that falls right in line. This book is criminally undervalued right here, man.
I might jump on there and scoop it up.
I'm seeing looking like 9.4 for $169. I'm like, bro, y'all. What y'all
I'm trying to help somebody. I mean, $12.45, and then they got an offer for it.
Yeah, so you probably get this about $150.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the books that was in the slabs at the show last week, and probably could have got an even better price.
Where they shipping it from? Look like they're shipping it from Pennsylvania, but you may never know. Vendor might have been from out of town, so But I thought when I saw
I just go add it to my watch list and see what offer they throw at me.
Okay.
Ever since last year, every time you add something to your watch list, they hit you with an offer.
I'll be getting $1 off offers. I don't be getting no big deal. I'll be getting $1 off 50 cents.
Bro, I got like a $15 off offer on one of the rap albums, man. I was like, man, I can't pass that up because it's like an out of print album. But yeah, definitely. We talked about this book multiple times about how undervalued it is, and I think Comic Collector Geek, showed it when he talked with Tylox today on his interview, and Tylox he showed the book, and it was like one of the reasons that hold this book back is the cover.
Yeah,
it is below average, not a great cover. There's too much going on, and especially with Rogue being a very small character on the cover, and this is his first appearance. It's like that's the only drawback of this issue.
Yeah. But yeah, man, $169, less than $200 for a 9.4, man. I thought that was it was a disservice to this book. So the next book is gonna also be an Avengers book that I personally thought, and you can let me know, Matt, because you got this book, but you let me know what you think as far as what this particular book.
Oh yeah. 289, man. I told y'all, you know, it was a hype, man. The hype train was going on there about 4 or 5 months ago. This book was in.
I got my cheap facsimile copy, so
Yeah, I saw that at the store, man, earlier today. So yeah, man. When I saw this, I said, man, a low grade first came for less than 300.
It's got 1 day left on it too. That's even crazy.
And next week is Quantum Mania.
Next week is the liquidation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is one I'll keep an eye on. This one, man. I would, you know, as the good homie who that would say, you know, you get this 2 times once that movie comes out, man. You can get this. You just wait, and you'll be able to get this for a little or nothing, man.
Yeah.
Unless he knock it out the park, which Majors is prone to do. He can, you know.
I mean, you still got Kang Dynasty movie after that, so if he knocks it out the park, the book should go up even more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you can get this at a good deal. Go ahead and grab it.
All right. Next thing. I don't know about this one. This one I'm kind of on the fence about. So we starting to get into the opposite territory that we normally are in. So Rare Vintage Batman, Warner Brothers, DC Comics 3D collectible mug. I don't see why this is $70, but hey.
Nope.
Somebody might want it, but I mean, just because it's got the looks like the raised. No, bro. I don't see this being no $70. So
I don't want to drink something that somebody else already drunk out of. So
yeah, that's another thing too, man. I ain't with that, man. Used cup, $70. Okay, I got you. But yeah, I saw that and said, man, I might have put this on the list because it was something crazy. It said, well, they claim like it's new, brand new, unused, unopened, undamaged, including handmade items. I don't see a $70 price tag on this, man. Maybe 15, 20. Yeah, that's right, X. Nope. It's stretching it, but no, not no $70. All right. This right here, I'm still perplexed on. This raw copy of Wolverine 88 newsstand edition for $190.
Way too much, man. So
Remo, what's up, bro?
Remo. Hey, brother, is it cold out west, man? I've been seeing a lot of folks with jackets on out there, man.
Mm-hmm. It's cold and rainy, man, for us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Raining and stuff. We need it, so get the bus out. You know what I'm saying?
You know what else y'all need, man? Y'all need this right here. This Wolverine 88, man.
Pass. Yeah. I'd rather have this any day over this book.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, for $100 more, you go get Kane the Conqueror versus for this. Yeah.
I mean, for me, this isn't even in the same class or category as those other two.
Nope.
At all.
Yeah.
It ain't even a second appearance of either character.
Somebody think they can get $200 for it.
Not for me.
Just because it's newsstand doesn't mean that it's $200 worth.
I don't care if it's bodega stand. It ain't worth the $190. It ain't worth $90. If you really want to keep it funky, it's not worth $50.
It ain't worth $20. $20.
No. It's being a $5 bin.
In the words of my father, the late great Johnny Thrower, is worth what somebody's willing to pay you for it. And that's it.
Just
so
that one
you can get that if you in that condition. If you get $190, man, that's still essential.
I see Spine Tick right there.
Yeah. Roll.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Tick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that. Ticks, possible spine tap.
But it's a newsstand now.
Right. Yeah, they must be out their mind. You know how that go. with eBay.
And we've talked about this book enough when it comes to way overpriced.
And if you were to probably go to the sold for this book, and if you see one for over 190 like consistently, then I stand corrected.
Yeah,
we were talking, man, backstage. I'm like, if I see that Elva Cleavage book, Black Panther for 190,
here we go.
Shit, I was looking for that this week.
I've been looking for. I was like, these ones.
Hey man,
I was looking for that book this week, bro.
Damn, I'm like shit.
Hey, check this out. Look, if that book was to pop up on eBay, I'm pretty sure everybody on the panel gonna be bidding for it. Man, I love y'all brothers, but I'm telling y'all, man, I ain't going out without a fight.
Hey, me and my wife been arguing all day because she commented something in the chat about where they possibly could find one at, and I must have lost my mind.
He got the paperwork sitting on the table.
I get the book first. I mean, you get the book, and then you can tell everybody where they can go might find it at, but don't be over here blowing up my shit.
Edward, it was a book that was showcased last week. Like I said, we had Black Key Comics on the show. It was a book about Eldridge Cleaver of the Black Panther Party, man. You get an opportunity to go check that. Like I said, check the live stream out because he actually gives a background, a story on it, and everything. It's fascinating, bro. And I'm not using that word lightly. The story about that book is insanely fascinating. So, yeah, check it out.
It's from a historical bookstore here in my area, in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Then most people went to buy all their books to, gain knowledge.
Hey, the book is so rare because the FBI confiscated it and destroyed a lot of copies. So if that book is out there, it's
what they call Black Eldridge or something.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing, man.
My eyes are definitely peeled.
All right, on to the next.
Oh, hell no, man. No.
I got this book for literally like $1.95, maybe like a year ago.
That's what it's worth.
I mean, I think everybody this family got that bought this book for $2, $3.
Shit, I posted on the IG page the whole 3 issue set.
I grabbed this for that cheap, and I wasn't even looking for this book. It was just it skipped the book I wanted, and I was like, I'll just take this.
But see, this is what I be telling folk right here. This book is not a key. All it is just to start up the storyline of Council of Kings. That's it. It ain't a key book.
If you go out and pay $250 for this book, you're gonna hate yourself in the morning.
Definitely hate yourself by the end of the week. That's for sure.
Once again, we got to put our disclaimer out there. Excuse me. We got to put our disclaimer out there. If you have $250 of liquid money that you want to spend, and you are unsure on which way to go, please inbox Comic Hall Crew, and we'll provide you with a list of 5 reputable books that you can spend $250 on.
And to confirm what I just said, look, Kang appearance.
That's not a key. Just his appearance. And it starts the story. I give you 1,000,000 books that do the same thing, minus Kang, and they all worth $250 because of that.
Thank you. It's not a key. I feel sorry for these new folks that's looking at this book like, oh my God, they seeing these commercials about Ant-Man and stuff. It's like, no, bro, you about to get hornswoggled.
Wrong book.
Wrong book. Now keep in mind, he won a 9.6 for $249, and before you jumped on Remo, I showed them a 9. Was it a 9.4? Avengers Annual 10 for what? $169.99.
And I seen that right before I jumped on. I was like, oh shoot.
The mathing ain't mathing like they say. It ain't right, bro. Like, why would I pay for this when I could get a key of a character that's, not saying Kang, but his first appearance was back in the 60s, man. Why would I buy this for $250?
Yeah.
We was just looking at his first appearance and how cheap that was for a low grade copy.
This is
Right.
probably like his 30th appearance. You know what I mean?
Exactly. What up, DT? All right, on to the next. I thought this was a ludicrous price coming up to.
That shit should be 4 times that amount. It should be. If they can't get the Fantastic Four, and you go tell me this book is $419, and you selling Kang's 30th appearance for $250, this should be a $2,800 book right here.
I don't understand the use of the word rare.
Never.
Because I've seen that book multiple times at many shows. So why
Rare.
are you trying to put the word rare on it?
Rare is what you saw last week.
I've seen 9-8 candidates for $60 at comic book shows.
Remo, I bought an 8.5 of this book, man, probably about 4 or 5 years ago for about $60.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can find those books all over.
What's up, Apollo?
I'll tell you, man. Apollo not a big interest, boy. My boy, man. That's my boy right there, man.
I honestly just think, I mean, considering that it's not his first appearance,
exactly,
and much like that Avengers book, this is probably his like 62nd appearance. It's just his own solo book. Jack Kirby drew it.
Roll, though. Look at that spine roll.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, they got a 9.6 on it, but still though, like $400. Y'all tell me, chat. Y'all tell me, would y'all pay this for this book?
Yeah, like am I tripping? Like,
right? Am I honestly tripping? Like, if you find value in it, okay, cool. But $419.
So then that means that they would be asking for a 9.8, probably like $600-700.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yep.
That book is not worth that. I mean, just off the strength that it's just Black Panther.
I would try to get for his first appearance before.
Exactly. If I'm gonna pay upwards of $400 plus, then I'm gonna times that a few times and try and get me a good copy of his first appearance.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I got $400 to throw away on this book, then I'm gonna save that a couple of times. Every time I think about buying that book, I'm gonna put $419 in the bank, and then after that, I'm gonna go and buy me the first appearance.
There you go. You probably get you a low grade for a nice piece of change. Yeah. If you go on that route, you know what I'm saying?
If I'm really all, I mean, there's other Black Panther. There's a few Avenger issues that have Black Panther that are worth more having than this one.
Right. I can like his origin. Like
I was just gonna say I'd rather have his origin. Like I got the origin, I still ain't got this one, and I'm not even tripping. But I won't be paying that price.
Bro, I won't be tripping either because the origin book to me has more value than this book.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. On to the next one. Now I thought this was insane.
Oh,
come on. Come on.
Matt disappeared.
Oh boy.
Look, man. That is some bull.
This is crazy. It said like new.
and then they up here that long ass description. MCU's Ant-Man Quantumania, Kane the Conqueror, key 1974. That's not a key.
All he had to do was 129 CGC 98.
That's it.
Look at this. Look at the description. Kane appearance. That's all it say. Ramatut cameo on last page. Continued in John Size Avengers 2, and this dude won $3,749.
So by that admission on the description, saying that that's the first appearance of Ramatut.
It's a cameo on the last page, but don't nobody know who Ramatut is, man.
What I'm saying is it's like his first cameo, or just saying, "Oh,
No,
he's in."
that's just the cameo. The first cameo is in Fantastic Four.
That's what I thought. So, what does that got to do with the price of tea in China? You feel me?
It was
why even put that on the description? Like that doesn't make any sense. And it seems like this was done recently. Like that's a new slab. So if they're wording things in that way, then what are you implying by saying it's a 9/8 of this book? What is that? Ramatut, you know what I'm saying? Origin or cameo, basically on the last page. Are you saying that's a Batman one or a Hulk 180 situation? Like, what are we saying? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel you.
Like you're putting on the description something that's meaningless in this book.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody's buying this book for the Ramatut, appearance in there, and now you're saying that it means something because you put it on the description.
Yeah, they're gonna use Ramatut, they're gonna use Immortus and try and hype up all those books of his other variations of his character, and then they're gonna try and like this guy charged so much money for it, and I'm like, bro, no.
I saw.
Not to cut you off, but
yeah, go ahead, brother.
If I'm right, when you go to submit something, you can tell them something to put as far as hey, I think this is a whatever, a cameo appearance in the last page, and then they'll say, okay, you're right, and then they'll put it on the description, right?
They'll investigate it, and guarantee they'll do it. They'll investigate it, and then
okay.
if they see.
So you think this is one of those situations?
It could very well be.
I've never heard this book even considered in that manner.
Let me tell you this. I set up all day on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. No, Wednesday. And I watched Heritage had a Golden Age sale, lasted probably about 4 hours. And I watched at least 3.5 of it. And if you're telling me 3.5, I did because I want to see these prices. And let me tell you something. If y'all are paying $37.49 for this, and compare what I just saw this past week, bro. Tell you what, man, y'all spend y'all money on this crap if y'all want to.
And just to confirm something,
I'm just saying for what if somebody asking you to pay for this, because let's just be frank. This is a book this book I know. There are certain books that I know that was in the back issue bins that were cheap, and this is one I know for a fact. These Avengers books was in back issue bins, and I got probably 5 or 6 copies of this, man, for maybe $2.50 a piece.
This is the crazy thing, though. You go on here and you look for this book raw. I've seen prices that averaged anywhere from like $8 to maybe like $20, $30 based on the grade.
Yeah.
But this dude want $3,749 for a 9.8 of a book that really holds no significance except Kang is on the cover getting dealt with.
Matt, can I ask you a favor if it's possible?
Sure.
See how many of these are on the census?
All right, I'll check right now, brother. Y'all go ahead. What's that?
And why are you doing
that?
This?
9/8 there are, because this is a lot for someone to be offering. I've never seen this book this high, and I've never seen it referred to as it's being referred to on the description of this book. You know what I mean? Like, I've never.
While Matt is doing that, we're gonna go to the next book.
Because the only significance I can see is that Ramatut appearance. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, I looked it up on Key Collector. His first appearance is Fantastic Four 19, like Matt said.
Yeah.
His second appearance was Fantastic Four Annual #2, and his third appearance was John Size Avengers #2.
So the significance of that Avengers issue is what?
Well, according to Key Collector, it's the battle of Kang versus Immortus, and then it has the origin of Kang as Ramatut, but that still ain't no $3,000 book.
Yeah, that's my point exactly. It's like Apollo said, that's a sports car collector selling that book. Real, that's the one that got real.
Hey man, I wouldn't be surprised somebody tried to sell that book and plug Creed in it.
It's 237 total. 237 total, and 9/8 is 25. 9/6 42. 9, 4, 28, 31, 18. So I mean whoa, let me help y'all out. This number right here, this is what I call fool's gold.
Yeah.
This is fool's gold. You know why it's only 237 of these out there? Because ain't nobody trying to grade this book because they already know there's nothing to it.
And that was my point. I actually thought there was going to be less, and that's the only reason why he was trying to charge a high price, because it was only like 10, because don't nobody want that book.
Yeah,
so nobody. 9, 8. It's like, oh, first to market. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that 10. You know,
and learning lesson for those who are watching. This book was in 1974, so we know there's a lot of these out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of these out here. 1974. You flip that around and put 1947, and it was only 237. I'm likely to believe it. Yeah, it's probably not that many of them books out there. So
yeah, it's a difference.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I thought you'd even see a number that high if it said 1947.
Yeah, you wouldn't see.
But you're talking about the massive keys, you know.
Right.
Sorry about that, Al.
No, you good. Bam, y'all.
No, that's bullshit.
I told you it was gonna be a DC book on the list tonight. Now this book was a negative 50-cent book, and all of a sudden,
I was gonna say $9.99, maybe $50, $60 because it costs $50 to get it graded, and I'll even give you an additional 10 because you kept it in such good condition for so long.
Yeah, that whoever selling this had this book, man. This book was sitting in the vault for a minute, man. They were waiting.
Right. And so I would say a good $75.
I agree.
As my homeboy, the great Mike Flanders, would say, "Laying in the cut like peroxide." That's what that box was.
That's right there. Booster F and go. Like he done made big leagues, man. It's amazing to see a lot of these DC books, man. Just all of a sudden,
I wasn't fucking with Booster Gold like that. I wasn't picking up his book when I saw them dollar bins and shit.
Right.
I mean, if y'all want to pay $1,000 for it, y'all let me know, man. I got 2 sitting down the hall, ready to go. Inbox me, let me know right now.
And I'll sell it for $500.
I'm ready to go.
Both to you for a rack.
Yeah.
Right. We got another one right behind it, and it's
oh my god.
Bro,
it's like this dude said, that dude selling it for $1,000. Let me top that.
Nah, but he's saying dude's signature is worth like $400 to $500.
Right.
No, it ain't.
Whoa.
Let me top
and
that.
One watched this last 24 hours. That was me.
Yeah, just to see. And I love how when you do that, and then the book really is meaningless, but you just kind of try to test the waters, how they throw the flame next to it. Like, oh, it's a heat one. It's a hot one. It's going. They own it. Like, bro, I just checking to see if this dude will let me get it for the cheap, man. Ain't nobody checking for this book but me.
Ain't too many.
You know they want that money when you click watch and you don't see an offer within the first 15, 20 minutes. So like, yeah, right. They ain't looking to offer nothing.
Yeah.
I don't
Because they know they ask for a ridiculous price, man.
Don't fall for the banana and tailpipe, y'all.
Yeah. I know, I should offer $75.
Go ahead, Bremo. I'm sorry.
I was just saying $60, $75. That's it. That's just to do a favor.
It's gonna get worse. Mark our words, y'all. It's gonna get worse. The more James Gunn put out there as far as who we gonna use in the DCU, I said that y'all better grab your Firestorms and your Blue Devils and can't really say Zatanna because she kind of like a sought after book, but y'all get what I'm saying.
It still ain't going after my book that I'm looking for. I'm just trying to find the right one.
I see. All right, we got a few more.
If he announced Hawk and Dove, and then all of a sudden you got these Hawk and Dove books popping up out of nowhere. I'm like, who the fuck was buying Hawk and Dove?
Right, like field variants.
They coming from the that's coming from the Joe Budden School of Comic Collecting. You know what I'm saying? Pump it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That better be Dapper Dan.
No.
Fruit of the
But when
Loom,
they
baby.
call it the T-shirt kings or remember the airbrush dudes out of me, that better be something from them. $2,800 on a new shirt without tags. God damn. I'm in the wrong business, man.
Hey man, the
Who
quote
looking Wolverine. Like
quote boy from Hustle and Flow, it's hard out here for a pimp. Because when you selling $2,800 for a t-shirt,
You look like it been worn like 2 or 3 times.
I'm gonna hit it one more time for y'all, man. I mean, that's
Wow.
no.
Hey, pre-shrunk. I mean,
I still saw that too.
hey, meaning you wore that bad boy a few times.
that is the lowest of the low, there, boy.
It means you done wore that bad boy a few times and took it to the dry cleaner. Now impressive.
And they don't give a damn about you, man. They want $10 shipping on this too. They don't give a damn about you.
and from the looks of it, it looked like it's one of the most unpopular Wolverines because them bone claws. It looked like bone claws.
It looked like Ghost Rider. It looked like Ghost Rider Daredevil.
It's horrible, man.
Ghost claw.
At first, I thought it was Daredevil with Wolverine claws.
Yeah, I did too. I did too, Sean.
But it says vintage Marvel Wolverine mega print. Like that's not even where his wings, on his helmet. His his eyes have the.
It's horrible, man.
It
Or
burnt
whatever,
off. It burnt off remote. That's why that smoke around his head.
Where we at, man? Is this Ghost Rider or is this? Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Daredevil?
He just came out smoking a pound, man.
Yeah, whoever painted him didn't even know what they was painting. They was just like, well, I guess he's all red. He's on fire.
Yeah, throw it into the trash can. That's right. Yeah, I think that's bad. We about to even get worse.
Ugh. Oh my God. Magneto and Wolverine.
My.
We gotta zoom in on that one.
That is
You gotta enlarge on that, man.
that is something you.
Oh my God. Oh my
Man,
God.
I'd rather that X-Men 25 cover as opposed to it being put on a shirt like this.
I'd rather just take me one to a shirt and walk around than to pay for that.
Wow.
Throw it in the Incredible Hulk trash can.
For real. Oh, that's terrible. This ain't see, and that's even worse. Both of these, nothing. Oh my God.
Look at that real.
Look at that frame shit.
Braid collar.
When they saw that bacon collar, bacon. Wow.
Hey, that's
I was gonna say neither one of these is even original shirts. I thought these were like original, like one-offs or something. You know what I mean? This is some old Burlington Coat Factory shit.
No, it ain't, bro. This is some TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx. Ooh, wait.
What's up, Sneaker Reader?
That is scandalous.
What's up?
Look at that shirt. Look at that collar, man. Popping
That shit
my collar. Popping my collar.
30 years old, holding on for dear life. That shit done been pressed so many times.
The back is even worse.
That
How
is
you fuck up a great cover from X-Men 25 and make it look so weird?
garbage.
Looked like it was a black and white shirt, like a sketch shirt, and he painted it himself.
I'm telling you how egregious this is, man. You can see the neck stains from way back here, man. Look at that. He should have got him some oil or something and rubbed that in and washed it, man. Before
One that did no good.
Some nasty.
I'm just saying, man. He $4 for this shirt, bro. Oh my God, hold up. He got it on.
Yeah, we good.
Hey, neck beard and all.
Bro.
We good. Yeah, we good.
He got to be trolling. He got to be trolling, man. He can't be for real.
Ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
This is his asking price, folks.
Jesus.
We don't get out of here.
But he will at least give free. No, bro.
Is he? I wonder if he's just hoping somebody accidentally does it. Because you can like put stuff on there and people trying to like launder money, so they just like click on it and be like, all right. So.
Yeah, this ain't the Gras. Coup de Gras, this one. This is the last one on the list. Y'all faces. Oh boy.
Those are just literally selling like used underoos. You know what I'm saying?
Scandalous, man.
It's some like TJ, like you said, some TJ Maxx shit. When they ended the, like shit, all the shirts and this the last one. It's like, this thing got it.
That is absolutely a damn shame.
Ugh.
Look at that. That shirt is hideous.
I don't even know what to say.
Returns accepted, y'all. Who gonna be the first to buy it? 30 bands, DT. 30 bands. 30 bands, bro. I sometimes when you see these type of listings, man, you have to ask yourself, man, are they serious or are they trolling? Because I can't see somebody in their right mind saying that this shirt is actually worth $30,000.
No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe somebody that hit a lick one time when they done posted some bullshit, and somebody needed to really like launder some money and was like, okay, let me buy this for, you know what I'm saying, an absorbent amount of money, and now they feel like that might be a lick, man. You post some shit and somebody might buy it. You know what I mean? Like,
just because something is 30 years old,
oh my
does
god,
not make this $30,000.
this is terrible, man.
It is terrible. Terrible.
Terrible. I just,
Baffling, man.
yeah, I'm lost for words, man.
It's like we just saw 3 shirts each increase in price, and I'm like, none of them are worth a damn cent.
Not even $1.
And I did that on purpose. I did that just to show how crazy some of these people are, man, when it come down to, like I said, man, it's kind of hard to discern whether or not these folks are really serious about this.
And that's what I'm saying. I agree.
Or they trolling, man, like for real, like right. $6,200 and they list this crap, right? And you are absolutely correct, Sleeper Rita. It's mind-boggling, man.
It's gotta be like somebody, like I said, somebody hit a lick and they, it's like the dope fiend to find that rock that one time. They're gonna keep looking at the same spot thinking it's gonna turn up.
Jackpot.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, somebody got something. Oh man, let me put this up on there for 40 grand, man. They gonna buy it. Somebody gonna buy it. Get out of here. Please get out of here.
Crazy,
Unbelievable.
man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our latest edition of You Must Be Out Your Damn Mind. I hope you enjoyed it because I was laughing a lot when I was looking for this stuff, and not really hard to do. All you gotta do is throw some keywords in there, man, and you'll see some foolishness come up. Now, we'll say Matt has become hey, what's up, Lady L? How you doing?
Hey.
Matt has become a savant when it comes down to it, man, because he finds stuff that it defies logic. For real. I try to find that kind of stuff, but I can't. But Matt be finding stuff, man. I think it's the other side of eBay.
Dimension X, man.
Dimension X.
They call it the dark web.
Yeah,
the dark bay. The dark bay.
Dark bay.
All right, folks. So we're gonna move right along with this next segment. I was starting to say skit. Hold on. All right. cover price top 10. I looked at
All
this
right.
earlier, folks, and it pretty much is the same books that was on here from last week. But
Swamp
it looks
Thing.
they're changing. They're kind of like switching around as far as their standing. But number 10, of course, is Swamp Thing. Number 1, top weekly sale for a graded comic was 609, 345% increase.
I mean that book that was already undervalued. That's a book that you should have been trying to get a long time. For one, because it's Bernie Wrightson, you should have been getting that book anyway. And number 2, man, it's just a great cover. But finding it high grade is really gonna cost you because of that purple.
Yeah.
All right, number 9. This is still on the list. It was a little bit higher last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh shit, $600.
Really?
Graded, man. I got to say last week, man. It's amazing, man, how a book could be so cheap one week and then be sought after, man. Like $5.99 for a graded. Could you pull up to see what the actual the grade of the book was, Matt? Because I just got the basic version of cover price.
All right, hold on, I'll go look it up. Let's see. I'll look it up.
But you don't know.
My thing is, which one would you rather have?
What? I already got this Stormwatch 4.
You come out, are these 2 books right there in front of you?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
I
bought
rather have Swamp.
Yeah, all day.
All
So
day.
why would you, I don't understand. Is it just because of the trend? Because I'd much rather have Swamp Thing over some Stormwatch. I don't care how much they ask for.
Well, we've gone into this new phase where now DC has some type of direction. James Gunn is out there putting stuff out there, and everything that he announced that he was going to do in form of a TV show or movie, it has hit a top 10, and it's just skyrocketed in price. I mean, I was saying last week when we did that show about undervalued DC books,
Yeah,
the tables have turned.
Yeah. This sold on the first for $5.99.
What was the grade?
9.8. 9.8.
okay, so this sold $10 more.
Watch this. Watch this now. Watch this. Now watch this. A 9.0 sold on the 8th for $186.
But I had the same way, Remo.
But my thing is it looks like the Swamp Thing has been hotter in the last few weeks. If they already, the 7-day trend is plus 20 or plus 345%, and it's selling 24 a week. Like, it's already a better book to have between the two, and it's lower on the list than, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
And for the uninitiated, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm sitting here looking at the Swamp Thing. The Swamp Thing, 9.8 sold for $57.50, but that was back in 2022.
57, like 5,750.
$5,750.
So what was this one right here? The one for 609?
609. That was. Let's see here. Got this list here. 609.
It had to be like a 3.5. You know what I'm saying?
Have to be
6.9. Hold on here. It's sold here. Y'all bear with me here.
You good? And Stormwatch, by the way, folks, is the first appearance of Apollo and Midnighter. They're a gay couple that's going to be in the movie The Authority.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I got this book. I was a fan of Stormwatch when Image first dropped. So, I pretty much got all the volumes fully.
I'll tell you this. I don't see where that 609 is coming from. I might be overlooking it somewhere, but I will tell you what I do see here. The last raw grade, the last raw sale that was recorded on the 9th was a 1.5 for $350.
Okay, so then that book should be higher on this list if it's based off that.
Yeah. I want to say that one more time. A 1.5.
Yeah.
$350.
Yeah. Like I said, this is probably like a 3.5. It sold for $609.
I need to go offload this to go get me some more Golden Age books, man.
Yeah.
Especially since I got 92. So
Yeah, I'd have to back up
All
off
right.
all the books and buy some of that.
Weird
Okay,
War
Weird
Tales,
War
number
Tales.
93.
yeah, still hanging around, man. Yeah. Oh, okay, Paulo. Good. Hey, appreciate it, brother. I couldn't see it.
9.2.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. So then, like I said, I still would rather have Swamp Thing over Storm.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not that
All
it's terrible. I'm just saying I would, if I'm going to be picking a book, I'm going to pay that amount of money. I can't see buying anything like Stormwatch that hasn't necessarily made an impact yet. You know?
Yeah.
agreed, man. Weird War Tales, 93 newsstand. Of course, we gonna get a Creature Commando movie. Top weekly sale, $1,095. 7-day trend plus 1,021%. So that
That's
means that this book is like flying off the shelf. Like,
I think that those 10 sales are the 1,021%.
But ain't Creature Commando supposed to be like an animated series or something? Not a movie.
I mean, even better. I think if you can do the animation correctly, man, and do it right, it trumps the movies, man. Personally, for me, like I think they get more out of it if it's animated. It's too hard to mess up a live action movie.
Yeah, that 1095 was back in January for a newsstand. The most recent sale I'm looking at here. Well, I got a couple here. I'm on GPA analysis now, y'all. That is for $500 for a 9.4. And then we've got another sale here of the direct edition was not 508.
And the funny thing is, I've been picking up a lot more Weird War Tales, and now an issue finally make the list, and I'm like, damn.
A sale of a 9.2 for $417. And then from there, the drop off is pretty steep.
Yeah.
and Remo, you were actually right, but apparently there's going to be an animated series to fall in line with the live action movie.
Yeah.
So they're doing both.
Yeah, that'd be even better. That means they're invested. I'm not mad at that. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it does sound like a Golden Age book, but that's silver, not Bronze Age all day.
Yeah.
No, it ain't even Bronze Age. It was
It
in
started in the
1980.
silver.
It's Copper Age, around that time frame.
80.
More power to him. Number 7, our best friend Booster Gold.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
We just synced him on the last segment.
Yeah, nah.
No, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like I'm telling you, bro, we about to see some stuff, man. We are about to see. Booster Gold is this is no knock on the character, but Booster Gold is like the Norman Smiley of DC Comics. You know what I'm saying?
Norman Smiley.
He
big
got
wig,
potential.
man.
Hey, man, he got potential, right? But he ain't gonna never get to where he needs to be.
You better start screaming.
Yeah. I mean, Norman Smiley was a good. I like Norman Smiley, man.
Screaming Norman Smiley.
Yeah, when he wore them helmets and stuff out in the rain. Anyway, but yeah, I just don't see Booster Gold like being in this position. But again, like I said, at the end of the day, we're gonna see more and more of these DC characters. And I see what Gunn is doing. He's taking obscure characters, like Chris said last week, and he turned them around. He basically wanted to do the Guardians of the Galaxy treatment with a lot of these characters. I can't fault him for that. The Marvel equivalent to Booster Gold, oh my God. Wonder Man, maybe.
Yeah, Wonder Man's a good one.
I mean,
Frog man.
no, bro, I ain't gonna do Booster Gold like that, dog. Man, Frog Man is down there with Pace Pot Pete, brother. You can't do it like that, man.
Man, first person Pace 5P, go for something, man.
Hey, because he's a Spider-Man villain from the Silver
I
Age,
was
bro.
gonna say, yeah, that has to go for something.
But at the end of the day, man, Pace Pot Pete is worthless, bro. I'm telling you, that joker throw glue at you.
He worthless, but there's some cats out there right now that's kind of lightweight trying to pick up on your boy.
Hey, I mean,
Sell him when you got him, right? Sell him when you got him.
early Spider-Man villain, Rose Gallery, Pace Pot Pete, he got his spot, but still, you don't see no modern stores with Pace Pot Pete about to kill Spider-Man. That ain't been to happen, bro. All right, Legends #1, direct edition, first appearance of Amanda Waller. I got that whole series. Top weekly sale, 145. Ain't too bad, but I don't know. Amanda Waller, she got some legs on her, no pun intended. But I mean, in terms of her character, as far as what she's done in the book, in an animated series, I can see 145 depending upon the grade. So,
yeah,
she's a really strong character. Oh, he didn't say anything. I thought you.
Oh no, I was just saying like I don't know enough about her. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not a huge DC person, but I know that they invested in her. I mean, and if it's something that, like I said, nowadays I'm looking at it like when you see these books like this and it's at these prices, this is for strictly, purely flipping purposes, in my opinion. So that doesn't necessarily mean that's what the book is worth. So if this week people are selling that book for 145 and people are buying, then I guess right now that book is worth $145. But if you're paying $145 for this book, then you've already lost, to be honest, because
I agree.
that's the price you're selling it for. So why would you buy it for that if you were planning on selling it? You know what I mean? So any of these books on these top 10 lists, unless you can find it for the price it was worth yesterday before it showed up on this list, then you've already lost. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a knock. That's just be a rule of thumb. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if this book is now selling for this, then you missed the boat.
And
like,
we all know true DC fans already have this book.
Yeah.
They already have this book. So
Yeah.
it's mostly the people who just, trying to get in to cash out.
And that's my point. Like, you've already lost. Like, you know what I mean? Because you have to now pay that price if you want this book. And you really shouldn't want the book unless you already had it for whatever reasons you were collecting it for.
Hey, man.
Buying to flip at the highest price, probably that's bad business. So, yeah.
Hey, then me, you and Larry had a conversation the week before last week, Matt.
Yeah, about you getting into the market. You have to. If as a matter of fact, it was Tuesday. If you are just now about the way I live by it, if you are just now hearing about this, you're too late.
Yep,
you are too late to the party. Legends. This right here, this number 6. This book was $5. Nothing. It was pennies on the dollar. They were giving them away with California raisins at Hardee's. It was giving them away.
California raisins at Hardee's.
Yeah, those. What's them cinnamon things they used to have at Hardee's? Al, you know what I'm talking about.
Them cinnamon raisin biscuits, but them
cinnamon raisin biscuits. Yeah, they were giving them away with them, man.
Bro, I ain't had Hardee's in a while. I might drive over to the west side of Orlando just to get
cinnamon raisin biscuits, boy. It was the truth, bro.
I mean, it's just Batman 656. That book was in the gutter at one point, man. These were all opportunities, man.
Yep.
Do not buy these books when you see them on lists. I'm telling you, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
If you want that book, you wait a month and then go buy it.
Yeah.
You're gonna still pay more than you should have paid if you would have reacted like you should have.
Just hold it out, man. Just hold the line. Just wait. I promise you will be able to get all of these books.
And they always come back around. These books always come back around. I mean, like when I got that first Apocalypse, X Factor 6, bro, I waited so long on that book, I thought I missed out. But the right opportunity came, the right price, and I got a huge discount on it. So I only paid $25 for the book.
There you go. And that's reasonable because, you know.
You know what I ken these top 10 lists, and I mean they serve their purpose.
Absolutely.
It's like going over to Amsterdam, and you know Amsterdam they have like the brothels and stuff where at certain time at night they turn on the lights and the women get in front of the mirror and the window and start dancing and stuff. That's what this is akin to, man. It's like a spur of the moment type thing. Like you said, Remo, there really ain't no value in these books just because, like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that a book can increase exponentially in value just because it's getting a TV show or a movie, when before it had no intrinsic value to begin with. It may have been a key, but it wasn't like on people's radar. Like, man, I got to get Booster Gold #1. Like, who really checking for Booster Gold like that, you know? But speculation and all that exists. So
was Booster Gold on Peacemaker or no?
mm-mm.
So he hasn't made his debut yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only media he's been on, he was in Batman Brave and Bold, I think. That's a cartoon that came on Cartoon Network, and he was on one episode of Justice League Unlimited. And the reason why I know it was one episode because the episode that he was on was supposed to have been my boy Firestorm, but somehow or another, Dwayne McDuffie, may rest in peace, he wrote the story. Somehow or another, they changed him from Firestorm to Booster Gold. But
so
he ain't
is
really
he
been
on
on
the
nothing.
Waller show? Is he going to be on the Waller show then? Like, I'm trying to figure out why everybody's Booster Gold.
He's got his. I think they doing a Booster Gold movie. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is that where Jaime Reyes is going to be in? Is in the Booster Gold movie?
Nah, he's actually gonna be in his own movie. Like Blue Beetle is supposed to be coming out later this year, I think.
So Blue Beetle has its own show, and then Booster Gold is going to have his own show.
He's gonna have his movie. Yeah, Blue Beetle has his own movie, and Booster Gold has his own movie.
I can't see that happen.
Okay.
That doesn't sound possible.
James Gunn is gonna make it happen.
So are these going to be like Disney Plus shows? They're going to be like on HBO Max. They're going to be shows
Something like that. Yep.
Okay. That sounds. I keep because when I think of DC, I think of strictly in the movies. I forgot they have HBO Max.
Exactly, Sleepy. That's how it should go. You know, you buy books for cheap. Matt said this multiple times on the show. You see something for cheap that may look interesting down the line, pick it up. You know, and then next you know it blows up down the line.
Yep.
And then if you're a flipper or whatever, then yeah, because that means you were speculating on it and it's paying off. Now you sell it. But going and buying it when it's at that value when they're looking for it, then like I said, you've already lost because, like Sean said, and Sleepy said, buy the book when it looks interesting and no one cares about it. That way, when it blows up, you have nothing. You have very little invested into it.
Yep.
At most, it's cover price. Sometimes less, you know, depending on how long the book has been around, you know. All right, man.
Bro, I'm getting sick of all these variants and fucking do you poo. I can't believe the poo stuff is still going. I remember when I first joined Instagram and people were selling do you poo.
Boo Boo the Fool buys them books. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, what is the importance of these books? Just because they're variants?
Nah, I just think that people are fools.
Ain't no way I'm paying $25-$30 for those books.
Hey, hold your horses, Sean. We get to the CBSI, you're gonna see some variants on that list. Because their list is totally different from this list here. So
this is all DC so far. DC and one.
Yeah, we know about that Batman there.
So Batman 655. These are Damian Wayne books, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, $500 weekly sale, 7-day trend, 135 books sold. So 135 people that should have had this book when Damian Wayne came out back in 2006. But you know, they may not have been comic book collectors at that time or fans, but still.
I like Damian Wayne, but I ain't shedding tears over having it.
Yeah.
not having it.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I guess this is supposed to be like based on the movie. I don't know. I have no idea.
I just don't like when the book only been out for like 2 years, and now people want to speculate on it. Nah, like we talking Supergirl, and nobody's talking about her original appearances. You know, in the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, and in the '80s, like after Crisis.
Yeah, Supergirl books. I mean, they've been all over the place. Is she getting launched on something? Are they trying to bring her back to the DCU?
She getting a movie too.
Yeah.
I was trying to see what the significance of this book is, but 9.8, $57. Most common raw 24. It's a $3.99 book. But yeah, she's part of the new plan with the DCU. She's getting the movie. So all right, another Supergirl book, Woman of Tomorrow, #1. I guess this is the A cover, and this is a variant cover. So
I hope Matt got some snacks.
you know what? I was saying, like, man, this Joker done went and fried some chicken. And he about to come back with some hot sauce.
You probably hungry, man.
He was right.
When I ain't mad at you, bro.
Hey man, I got me some cinnamon bun rolls, man.
Hey man, and I'm hard.
It's hot chocolate because it was cold up in here, brother.
Hey, I just came back from I took my mom and we hung out with my mom today and stuff. And I stopped by in the hood and they have this dude that's on the side of the road and he cooks churros, right? Yeah, bought a big old bag of churros, man, and them things had so much damn sugar on them, man. I had to put them back. I was like, man, me diabetes by the time I get to the goddamn house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to hit on this right quick, man. And I'll tell you something, man. Have y'all covered this right here? Have y'all covered this?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it. But you go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. This NFT thing. If you got money to spend to put in the NFT, I have a bridge sitting in my garage right now that I am ready to sell you. People, don't throw all your money into that stuff, man. Into the NFT stuff, man. It is no, please don't do that, man. I know there's some creators out there, not creators, but influencers or what have you. You know, YouTube channels that's saying, hey, NFTs. But please don't be hedging your bets on that stuff, man. I mean, y'all saw what happened a couple months ago. You know, that's the dangerous game to be playing right about now. That's all I have to say about it.
Non-fungible tokens, son. All right, so #2, Supergirl.
How did that pause work out for you? Y'all remember pause? Y'all remember those? Pause, whatever you call it, little circular things back when we were kids. Pogs. Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Yep.
I want
into what's number one? What's number one, man? What's number one, man? We got to move on to the next segment.
The Authority.
Figures. Storm Watson Authority.
#1. So that ends the cover price top 10. We already know why this on here because there's gonna be a movie for this, Remo. Hey man, you okay down there?
No, I just something came across my line. I had to do something.
Okay.
But but the Authority though, I keep hearing about that though. That's the one that I keep hearing about. I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest DC fan, so you guys got to hit me to a lot of this because I'm really
straight.
Yeah, I like the Authority.
Yeah, I mean it's straight.
Okay. It actually started off as a Wildstorm comic, and then DC
moved over.
Bought out Wildstorm, so now it's DC.
So it's all those Jim Lee titles. Then.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got legs because he's actually he's still at DC or no?
Yeah, he's still there.
So he's getting a lot of bringing stuff to Gunn is going to be bringing a lot of stuff that he's involved in. I would think, right? Okay,
All right.
makes sense.
Jump on to the CBS side top 10. So number 10, these variants go, Sean. Red Goblin number 1. Yep, lead.
Bro, I saw the poster on my comic shop. I'm like, who the hell is checking for Red Goblin number 1? I remember the hype a couple years ago about him, and then it died down. Now he's back.
Yeah, you remember we were trying to get this so we can make sure we got the first appearance, and everybody was going every week. We go to the store to buy that damn book.
It was so bad we didn't even cover Marvel. We on FOC last night. We didn't even cover Marvel. We was just like, man, we no need. Let's go show everything the DC got on FOC because that's all that really matters right now.
Yeah. Number 9, Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants, Art Adams 1 in 50 variant.
If that's a 1 in 50, it shouldn't have a trade dress on.
Yeah,
I agree.
100%.
I got one of the variants.
I agree with that 100%. Remote. Nothing pisses me off more than seeing a ratio variant. They got trade mess on it.
It looked just like what you could have bought off. Yeah.
in the store, right?
To me, this
Number
was
8.
a better cover.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna blow you up right quick.
Better. Shit.
Much better.
You got to really be an Art Adams fan. Wearing it, I think Ultra did a spec matrix about that artist. He got some dope covers, man. He was
Number
wearing
8.
it.
Go ahead, Remo.
No, I was just repeating the artist's name.
Oh, okay.
So I did see the news about witches.
That's gonna be a show, ain't it? Ain't it an option for a show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still Michael B. Jordan or no?
I don't know about Michael B. Jordan, but I know that was the Scott Snyder and Jock book that they did years ago.
Gotcha.
Number 7, Amazing Spider-Man 2023, number 19. Giotto Personato 1 in 100 variant.
$140. I mean, it costs you what? $400 to get it. How much you think this Amazing Spider-Man cover was? Cover price? $300-$400 or $3-4 for $4.99.
Maybe $5 now, because sometimes the variants, they about $5-$6.
No, so what I'm saying is you would have to buy 500 or buy 100 of one of the covers of that Amazing Spider-Man to get this book.
Yeah.
So is it worth buying? Let's say it was a $4.99 cover, paying $500 to get a book that's worth $140, and you're not planning on selling or using the other 100 covers, especially if you can't return them, unless you can return them.
Yeah.
Credit, and you're still not going to get your cash back. You got to use that money towards ordering another book or whatever.
Right.
Book. So I don't know. I mean, I like
a waste of time. That's all it is. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna want that book, just go pay the $140 for it.
Number 6, Seven Soldiers, Frankenstein number 3. Have no idea what this is for. Oh,
the Feature Commandos.
Yeah.
Frankenstein is mentioned by
Grant Morrison.
Creature Commandos has Frankenstein in it, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? Like I said, I think if you do it right, like these zombie and like monster type titles, they can do well. So I mean, if that's what you're specking on, like I said, this goes back to the last conversation. If you're having to pay $25, $30 for this book, you're too late, because this is a book that was probably widely available or in back issue bins. So like if you weren't checking for it, you shouldn't be checking for it now. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Butterfly number 1, Arash Shamil and Marguerite Bennett. She wrote, oh my God, the Animal Apocalypse book. I can't remember the name of it. It came out a few years back. It was pretty good. I don't know if this has been optioned for a movie. But yeah, cover price up to $80 raw, $9.8 $200. It's probably an option for a show or something.
Like I said, a lot of these books don't affect me because I'm not looking for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yep.
Yep. Creature Commandos is number 4. Number 1, raw copies $40 to $60 range with a higher sale for the men.
See now, for me, like I'm still would be more interested in like, and even as somebody who's buying in late, I would be more interested in the Weird War tales. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really. If that's what it brings is the Creature Commandos, I don't want that book. You know what I mean? I want the book that brings that. You know.
Yeah.
So I'd be trying to get the vintage book or the modern quote unquote. You know.
Right.
Weird War Tales got some good stuff. So
yeah. So that's what I mean.
Even if you get that book, I would highly recommend the run itself.
Exactly. So, that's what I mean. Like it's all that's issue 93. I bet you there's some dope covers from 1 to 93 that are worth grabbing.
You can get
this right here
like
is a nice cover.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I that's the only book so far tonight. That and obviously the Swamp Thing have been the only 2 books that really interest me.
Number 2, Static Shadows of Dakota, Oliver Coppel, 104 variant. Static black on too.
Mel been a strong proponent for this book because
it's a cool cover.
Although he says no book is a ghost, he doesn't think that a lot of people ordered this book.
I mean, I can see that with it being Static Shock. I tend to agree with that. Too many people.
So here's my thing with it. I pre-ordered the 1 in 25 maybe 5 months ago.
G-Man.
And then it somehow never came out, and then I never got fulfilled that pre-order. Then it popped back on FOC again, and then I had to reorder the book in order to get it. Now, to me, I don't think anybody knew that this 1 in 100 existed pre-FOC. So I don't know that a lot of shops even thought to order 100, even though this cover is the cover B or C or D. Like it's one of the covers. So there's a non-foil cover that has the same cover with the trade dress. But I don't think people realized that this book existed enough to order. So I don't think a lot of shops, obviously they didn't order 100 of the Static Shock. You know what I mean? They might have ordered 50. So you're going to probably see more of the 1 in 25, I think, than you will of the 1 in 100 for them. If what everybody's calculations are correct. You know what I mean?
I'm perfectly fine with the variant that I have.
Exactly.
I ain't worried about no.
But I'll say this though: if this book is a book that you want, like if you're a Static collector and this is one of the books you got to get, I think you can wait a couple weeks and you might be able to get it. Yeah. I mean, people if they do exist, they're going to start showing up, and I think people will be willing to deal because they didn't have it in hand when this madness has been going on for the last few days.
Probably Spider-Man Noir there.
Yep, number 1.
I like that book personally.
That was the one I got for, and that was one of my buck being pulls. That boy.
I like the character, man. That's not covered.
Exactly. And he's already showed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's already been on the big screen. Like, you know who he is. You know what I mean? Like people do know who he is. It's not like he's new. But for them to give that, they gave him his own show, right?
No, he was in that.
He's in
that multiverse.
No, but I'm saying the new news that's bringing him up front is he's getting his own show, right?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. No idea.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, it says right there. It says it was announced that the Amazon series was greenlit.
Oh,
okay. Just another reminder of the dead. What does that say? Okay. Well, anyway, You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's got his own show, so you know who he is already. You know what I mean? So for him to get a show now, like it's almost, if they do it right, it's printing money. So those that have this book, I think if it goes correctly, if they don't screw it up, then this might be light. That might be a good price to even still to get in on it. You know what I mean? If you're buying like a slab, like a 9.8 or something like that, I still think you can get raws for cheaper than that for sure. But you're still gonna have to pay because that's always been a book that was, kind of expensive. I looked like a year or two ago to try and get one of those, and they still wanted some bread for them.
Hmm.
All right.
And
Well, that
it's a black cover, so it ain't gonna be easy to get in high grade.
yeah. Well, that concludes that particular segment. We got one more segment, and then we're gonna hit up our main event. All right, fellas. So, new Ant-Man and Quantumania trailer drop.
Are you gonna make me watch this, man?
I'm just gonna play it while we talk, Sean.
You want to skim through it?
Hey, I ain't watched none of the trailers. If it comes out next week, I'm going to see it. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to see it.
I bought my ticket. I'll be seeing it on Thursday.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah, I
what's up.
already got it. Yeah.
So, what are y'all expectations of this movie?
I'm actually going in with no expectations.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually going in just want to go just a hopeless and enjoyable movie, and
Yeah.
I'm not doing no specking, none of that. I just want to go see this, and I hope that it's good.
Yep.
We need a good movie. We hadn't had a really solid good movie in a while.
I agree.
In the comic book industry, so it's been kind of flat, man.
Jonathan Majors looked pretty. I mean, based on this trailer, he looked pretty strong, man, in terms of his portrayal. The thing that I find interesting, and it's gonna pop up. It's gonna say something like the saga begins. So I'm guessing that this is actually
Wu-Tang.
the saga continues. Wu-Tang.
Olympic torch flame.
I'm about to do you guard first, but I ain't gonna do it. But it basically started. I'm assuming, and it should be coming up pretty soon, that this is actually going to springboard into whatever next big event that they're going to do in the MCU.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Remo.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing.
So see, the saga begins. So I think it looks pretty solid. And like I said, Jonathan Majors has been doing. He like the it dude right now in Hollywood. So he's been.
Man, it's going to transition right into him kicking Killmonger's ass in Creed 3, man. That's what.
Could be, man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. This ain't probably. It's gonna be the first Marvel movie since the pandemic I'm actually going to the movies to see.
Yeah.
So
and they actually makes this Ant-Man movie have some stakes in it, with Kang being a part of it. Because the previous two Ant-Man movies, they were fun and enjoyable, but they weren't movies that you wanted to see on opening weekend. You could say, I'll wait and check that out next week or something like that. This one you want to see in opening weekend because of Kang and the stakes it has for the future of the MCU.
Yeah, I just think, from watchability, in the story, I'm like, that don't seem like that's the same Kang from the Loki show.
It's not. It's not.
And I see that Cassie is playing a pretty decent size part, which she never did before. And what is if she's gonna be stature or whatever? But the only thing that I'm like Matt, I'm going into it with no expectations. I'm not really going on it to spec, in a sense. I don't care about what the outcome. I just want it to be good. But I'm a little disappointed of them being able to show the microverse, and it ain't the Micronauts. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I wanted to be the Micronauts. Like I love the Micronauts.
They would have to make that phone call to Hasbro and say, "Can we do a team
Yeah.
up and have the Micronauts
I
in this
just think
film?"
why wouldn't they have done that? You know what I mean? Like I
They
don't.
need all the money they can get anyway.
Yeah, Hasbro's tripping. Like I'd have been like, yeah, please, and re-release those toys, man. You'd have people like me for sure. I would be buying all those things.
Bro, if they were to come back, team up with Marvel and do it, I can imagine the re-release of the toys, the re-release of doing the omnibus of the Micronauts.
Yep.
Dude, just the nostalgia that I have as a child, that was like the first, like I was saying on the show last week, that was the first present I remember receiving from my father was a Micronaut. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that the first like I remember a Micronauts and an Atari. Those are the first gifts I remember receiving as a child that I like were meaningful to me. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, my dad used to, you know, it wasn't like he was buying us stuff all the time. You know what I mean? But those are things that stuck out of my mind. So I'm like, I'm disappointed that it's gonna come on TV or on a movie, and it's not gonna be them per se. Like it's them, but it's not them. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's a little.
I know one thing. You know, will we see Bill Murray cross the streams at something in this movie? You know, considering he's in it.
See, I know this is gonna be a good movie, man. I just you know. I just want it to be good, man. I want it to continue to be good, but yeah, I think it's. I think people are going to go into a certain expectations and they're going to be disappointed because of that. But I think if you're just going into it for the movie and whatever it sets up after the fact, then you're going to be fine. Because like I said, I don't think this is the same. These are different characters or variants, if you want to say that we're seeing in the movies, like.
And I agree with Matt. You know, they need something to kickstart this next phase in a high gear because the last phase has been disappointing.
Yeah, it's been flat, man. It's been flat on this last phase, man.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, I don't. After this movie come out, I don't want to get on the interweb on Friday and all I hear about wokeism and stuff, man. Go watch the movie and enjoy it. I don't want to hear anything about this woke shit.
Not even that. I don't want nobody explaining to me the movie before I get a chance to see it. Like,
yeah.
I still haven't watched Black Panther. You know, kill me, whatever. Still haven't watched it. And honestly, after everybody, you know, talking, I started watching it with my wife. I'm good. I don't really want to watch it. Like,
Remo, I hadn't seen it either, so we're in the same boat, bro.
Yeah, it's like I'm cool. Like I have no interest in watching it. You know what I mean?
They talk about you, they talk about me too, though.
Right? It's like, hey, man, I ain't watched it. But,
well, Al ain't seen it either, so you know.
Right? You can tell and be like, man, Remo ain't watching it either, man. So
right.
leave me alone, man. So
I'll get to it eventually.
I watch it. Yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. Man.
Right, that's how I am. So I might watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, whatever. But this one here, like, I'm actually looking forward to it and have been. So I want to see it, see what it's talking about.
So Marvel seeks to focus an ever-sprawling universe with Phase 5. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania kicks off a new chapter. One is shaping up to be more narratively focused and patient. Basically, in Phase 5 stuff we just talked about, he takes some creative risks for Phase 4 while keeping sight of his arc in terms of themes and escalating threats. It could prove that Marvel Studios' most successful lineup yet, or at least the one that stopped the hand-wringing over the multiverse saga being able to live up to the Infinity Saga. So right now we are in a multiverse saga. So we don't know how this is gonna turn out, man, but they need to turn the corner because, like, I'm with y'all, man. Everything that's been put out in Phase 4, I'm not excited, man. After Endgame, it was like, if I go to the movies to watch something cool, if I don't, it ain't no sweat off my back, you know.
Yeah, basically.
There used to be a time, man, I'd be excited going to a movie, man, like a new MCU movie. But now, I think the pandemic kind of put a little monkey wrench in it. But even after the pandemic, it's like No, man, I don't want to go see Spider-Man No Way Home. No, I'm good,
Yep.
All right, next thing. DC news. James Gunn clarifies DC Studios is separate from Warner Brothers now. So he's basically telling people in so many words that they're going to be operating kind of like what Marvel Studios is doing with Disney. I think that's a good thing, personally. I don't know why they use Henry Cavill. These folks on the internet still caping for him.
Salty.
They super salty, man. I'm talking about Himalayan sea salt salty.
They got petitions to bring him back.
It's crazy.
They so salty, they got high blood pressure.
Yeah,
I'm talking about everything, man. The gout, the whole 9 yards. But
oh shit, not the gout.
The gout. But yep, James Gunn, DC Universe co-creator James Gunn clarifies how DC Studios is now separate from Warner Brothers. The DCEU, as it was previously known, will soon be going into a brand new direction with the launch of DC Studios. I think this is one of the best things that could have happened for them, because a lot of the movies that's come out before this whole shakeup, I'm sorry,
I'm just laughing. The gout.
Gout, brother. They swollen foot.
Hey, bro, you know it, man. Your foot swell up on you, boy. You know it's rough, boy.
That big toe get the locking up on you. It's no joke.
Bro, yeah, that gout ain't no joke, bro.
I have you in a slump, bro. Yeah, man. I think this is one of the best things that's happened to DC, and hopefully they can keep it separate.
It was the case of too many cooks in the kitchen when it came to WB.
Yep.
And now that it's DC Studios and it's separate from WB, you got two cooks to run the organization how they see fit, and not all these other people sticking their hands in. It's like, oh no, you need to put some pepper on that. Oh no, you got to put some extra sauce and stuff like that, and just making it a mess.
Yeah, you know that was one of the biggest gripes about DC, man. Well, Warner Brothers rather. It's just that, and that's what ruined Wonder Woman, man. Cooks in the kitchen. I mean, every time we look at all these movies properties we saw, it was the same old. We got 12 cuts of the same movie. Take this out, move this side, move this around, take this over here, put it over there. We got this cut, we got that cut, we got this version, we got that unseen footage.
4 hours, bro.
Yeah, 5 hours. Yeah, we got all this extra stuff. Move this around. You got Batwoman, Batgirl, Bat teenager, Bat dog, Bat cat. Baseball bat, you got all this stuff, bat everything, and they just all over the place, man, all over the place.
They talk about movies and shit. I'm like, bro, you ain't even truly established the universe, and you want to come up with these side movies,
right?
Yeah, it does, G man, it does. But this is great. This is really great news, and I said this to you all before. I said I really just let the man do what he wants to do. Let's just judge him after. We hadn't even seen one property outside of since he's taken over, rather, been released yet. So people, just cool it, man, and let's just wait and see. And cool, trust me, they're gonna have they're gonna have their I'm sure they're gonna have their growing pains, but Rome wasn't built in a day.
And I mean, Warner Brothers has enough faith in him to allow for this to happen. And it's not like he does not have a good track record going into, this particular situation. And I'm with you, man. I mean, get a man an opportunity now.
Fat Wayne. What about Bat Wayne? Bat
Wayne. Hot sauce on that sucker. But get a man an opportunity, man. I mean, if he fall flat on his face, then you can laugh and tweet and do whatever you want to, but I mean, even Peacemaker. I mean, he took a double Z list character and made him a decent, made it a good show.
Hold up. You gotta highlight G-Man's comment about Galactus and Silver Surfer, because now we gotta hold that to him.
Oh yeah, I want to see G-Man looking like me, man.
Hey man, what time is it? It's 11:05. We time stamping this right now. See, man, if this happened, bro, I want to see it, man. I don't want you to be embarrassed, but I do want to see that, man. So you could be like me and Matt.
Yeah.
All All right. And last piece of information we gonna go over is Deadpool 3 might set up the events of Avengers 5 and 6. I thought this was interesting news because even though Deadpool ain't really part of it, I don't know if he's part of the MCU or not. But if this is true, it's interesting if this is the case, which in all honesty is possible if they're going to if they're leaning towards the multiverse, angle, which apparently they're doing. But basically it's saying here, not only will the events of Deadpool 3 be critical for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, but the movie might be tied directly into Loki season 2.
Multiverse.
I mean, yes.
Beyonder.
It's possible. We might see the Beyonder.
He's looking at the players that he wants for his battle world.
You know what? That ain't a bad idea. That might
That's
be
a good theory there, brother Sean.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it that way.
Me neither. He actually might be working in concert with Kane. Now that would be a great angle for them to actually use.
Yeah. Somebody's watching them from beyond in each movie. You see that him in the background.
And see that way with that, just putting out some wishful casting or whatever. I mean, that's how they could bring, if they bring the Beyonder in with multiverses, you could bring back whomever you want to. May not be the person, like may not be Robert Downey or Chris Evans. And then again, you might be able to get them to come back. That's an interesting take, Sean.
I mean, think about it. Secret Wars of being after Kang Dynasty is the perfect way to set things up like that.
True.
That's the only thing I can think of if you're gonna use Deadpool to tie into those Avengers movies.
Yeah, you're right. All right, folks. Well, we have gotten through all of our segments, and it's time for our main event. So here we go.
Oh,
Jericho,
I would cry laughing if the Beyond Sports to Jericho.
You'll be on the TCB ad.
Wouldn't it be funny if the Beyonder came through there and he come out of a Soul Glow store or something like that, man? That would be hilarious, bro.
Only if they make Beyonder is played by Elder Barge.
Billy D. Wee
Singing Who's Johnny. Like,
Hey, fellas, we made the 600, y'all. We made the 600, y'all.
Come up dressed up like the Ready for the World, Oh Sheila.
Oh,
Melvin Riley, them. He come through dressed like Ready for the World for real.
Markel.
Hey, that's what
March Day in the time.
You need Robert Harris to be like, follow the drip.
No, March Day, man. Oh, we yo.
Oh, man. Well, we already diving into the black music culture right there, bro.
Oh, we yo.
Main event tonight. Go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
The emergence of black culture and how black people have affected pop culture. So basically, the title speaks for itself. Since we're in Black History Month, we are discussing, Black history. And part of the Black history that we wanted to discuss is the effect that, African Americans, the black people, have had in the form of pop culture, from music to movies to, what have you. So, and I'm going to start this conversation off even with music. Something that I just recently learned, and me and Sean, we talked about this before, something similar to this before the show started. We talked about a lot of things that we've learned over time that we didn't learn in school. Um, I just had the latest name in my head. Y'all gonna have to help me, but I didn't know that the progenitor of rock and roll. Well, her name was Rosetta Tharpe. She's considered the godmother of rock and roll, and she was actually an inspiration to Chuck Berry and a lot of the guitarists back then, Little Richard, a lot of blues singers back in the 1950s and 60s. And and it's crazy because she sung gospel music. Um, but they've got videos of her, she's rocking them blues and them rock and roll chorus and
I
stuff.
think I
It's
remember
amazing.
seeing one of the videos of her.
Say what,
'Cause I,
Sean?
I think I remember seeing a video of her. Because what you just said, I was like, I remember seeing a video of her like rocking out, like to that old school blues energetic music,
Mm-hmm.
and the post saying about her contributions to rock and roll. So I was
Right.
like, yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and it's amazing, man, because of course, the rock and roll genre is blown up to what we know it as of today. But we've had a lot of input in various other genres like jazz. Jazz music back in the early 1900s, it kind of originated like up in New Orleans. Shout out to who that. And from what I've read up on jazz music, a lot of artists came out of that, Creole and French and black folks, man, they decided to actually perform blues. And the blues actually evolved into what is known as jazz now. So it's a lot of stuff. It's
Please speak on it, please, because just call it a spade a spade. It was created by black folks.
and I'm not I agree,
Like
um
they'll tell you that. You know what I mean? Like we influence all forms of culture in this country because it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think the part of it that is the point that is hard to make is that we don't get the credit for it. So it's not taught in school. And if it
right,
is, it's glossed over. You know what I
right,
mean? They try and, they rewrite the history. Like that's what it is. So it's like, if you don't do the research on your own, you won't know what it is. You have to actually go and do the research. And that's the part that shows the difference. It's like, you'll know about it when you go look for it. You know what I mean? Because like you said, they're not going to teach you in school.
no,
They're gonna tell you somebody totally. They're gonna tell you that what's my man that married his little sister.
Jerry Lee Lewis,
Jerry Lee Lewis started
his cousin.
rock, So that's the thing. Like you learn what you're taught. You know what I mean? So if that's the narrative they want to push, that's what you gonna hear.
And I found it amazing too that and like I said, I'm not discounting anybody, but I did some research.
For real.
I did some research, in terms of musical influences, because I basically just started with music and stuff, and a lot of the artists, even the Beatles, a lot of their influences were Otis Redding and Little Richard and James Brown and Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones.
Rolling
James
Stones,
Brown was
man.
a huge influence. His music,
Their whole style was based off of black
right?
music.
So
As a
the
matter,
Beatles are basically what BTS is today. You know what
for
I
the
mean?
most part,
They came to the United States, influenced by our culture, and became, chart toppers. And, they pushed the culture as far as, what they were, but that doesn't mean that they were the originators. You know what I mean? But if you start at that point, you will think that they were the ones that came and started it off, but they would tell you that they were influenced by it.
right?
You know what I
And
mean?
I've seen many interviews with Elvis, and people like to call him the king of rock and stuff, but even he himself will tell you that his influence was black music. The
Exactly.
black churches that he visited, and he got the style from Chuck Berry and all of them. And
But
that
they don't
perform
want you to hear that.
Yeah, the media would like to just say, okay, let's edit that out of the interview
Yeah.
and just focus on him and the music. But
Yeah.
he said it many times, and I understand a lot of people kind of rag, black people ragged on him. We all know the famous line from Public Enemy, about
Mhm.
Elvis and stuff like that. But when you look at some of those interviews, Elvis always stated, where he got his influences from.
Yeah. And that's why I say if you listen to the narrative, you would think he stole it. But like you said, he would probably tell you everybody what it was. But if you don't hear it, then I can't stop you from believing what you want to believe. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Fun fact. Also, Elvis was a Shazam fan, by the way. A lot of folks don't know that.
And he liked to eat peanut butter and I think peanut butter jelly and bacon sandwiches or something.
Peanut butter and banana sandwich.
That's how you know he's from the South.
I read a story where he actually chartered a flight, and it was some diner somewhere in another state, and he flew to that state just to eat a peanut butter sandwich.
That's when you know he was balling.
Right. That's when you know you got paper.
That was the equivalent of like Jay-Z flying, you know what I'm saying, from LA to Brooklyn to go have a chopped cheese or something,
Right. That's akin to me being wealthy.
Fried
Like,
peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It was like, hey Remo, man, Sean, hey, we finna go over to Hawaii so we can eat some spam.
Yes,
bringing up
spam masubi, yeah.
Ike and Tina Turner.
But yeah, man,
I was watching a video with it was Pharrell and Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters, who was the drummer for Nirvana, and he was saying that all of the drums he did on the first Nevermind album were all drums that he copied all the patterns from the Gap Band.
Yep,
so all of the intros, you know what I'm saying, with it was all he stole it all from there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I would hear it when I was listening to it when I was younger, and I always loved that part about it. Because of that, it was like, to me, it was like listening to the Gap Band. You know what I'm saying? And to hear him say that not only proved to me I was thinking on the right track, but it just shows you how much we influenced the culture. You know what I'm saying? The whole other genre of music took, you know what I mean, what we were doing, and incorporated and made it universal. You know what I mean? Like, made it universal.
What? Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
You know what? Music I was listening to within the last month or two was Miles Davis, and I was listening to Bitches Brew, and how weirdly sound that album was, but yet it was like musical orgasms to the ears because of how he structured that album with so many instrumentations playing on top of each other. That should be like nightmare to the ears, but at the same time, it's a blessing to just hear all that musical interpretation. And then I remember when you listen to that song, and I'm like, this is where Heavy D got the beat, the main beat from on You Can't See What I Can See.
Oh yeah.
Straight from that album. And you listen to the song, you hear that drum pattern, then you hear all the other instrumentations over it. But I was like, a lot of his music was very revolutionary in terms of how he conducted himself and challenged the norm of jazz to say, I'm going to take it to a whole nother level by doing these different styles.
But that's the thing.
The form of experimentation.
Exactly. That's the whole part of jazz is you're supposed to, it's happy mistakes. You know what I mean? It's like you're supposed to just play with feeling and go where the music takes you. You know what I mean? Like people that do jazz albums, like they're not just going, like it's different for all genres of music. But if you're going to do a jazz album, you just play. You know what I mean? Like, and you're gonna take that whole set. Like I'm a little background. I have background in music and as an engineer. Like when you would be recording like people playing jazz, you're recording the session, the whole thing. They're gonna just play for maybe like however long they play. They're gonna jam, and you're gonna cut it up. You know what I mean? And you're gonna say, okay, this is this. You know what I mean? And then the next session might be the same. You're gonna capture the best part of it and use that, because it's other than that, it's just gonna be an hour-long song. You know what I mean? Because they're just jamming. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, and that's the beauty of jazz. If you listen to it, there's so many different songs within the song. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's improvisation. You know what I mean? It's like there's no right or wrong way to do it, man. It's jazz is beautiful.
It is.
So, fellas, in terms of what we're talking about tonight, man, and as far as your own thought process, are there any particular individuals that you feel, aside from who we've talked about, that have actually aided in pop culture? I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say Kool Herc. He's the originator of hip hop. Hip hop is one of the biggest genres of music, one of the biggest money making genres today. And it has reached a lot of people in a lot of countries, and a lot of people have actually gotten paid off of hip hop. They've been fed well.
Yeah,
I think in that particular regards, and it's crazy because reading up on the history of hip hop and everything, that people thought it was a fad. It was like disco.
I did growing up. You know what
Really?
I mean? Like, honestly, like not like that, but like you never would have thought that, like like Biggie said, you never would have thought that it would take it this far. Because we used to stay up late to watch That's Incredible just because they had a breakdancing segment. Or on your local news, somebody would talk about something hip hop, and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Let me set my VCR to record this segment on the news, because you didn't know when the next time you was going to hear about it.
Hey, y'all.
So
Remo is aging everybody with That's Incredible segment, bro. And for those in the chat that don't remember That's Incredible, it was a variety show, man, that came on back in the 80s. John Davison was the host originally. And the show would come on where they would show a video of somebody doing some crazy stuff, like backflipping through a hoop of fire with barbed wire strapped to it. And they were like, that's incredible. And then the theme music would come on and stuff.
What's the TV show with Nick Cannon? Not So You Think You Can Dance, but what's the other one? The one where they do just crazy stuff on.
Which one are you talking about?
It's a mixture of that and America's Funniest Home Video.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember it. No, he ain't. I thought Terry Crews took over for him.
No, that show, the one that Terry Crews is on. The one where
it ain't America's Got Talent, is it?
That's what it is. That's basically what the show is, because it was somebody who could do something crazy that you weren't used to seeing. Yeah. Whether it was somebody who was a beekeeper, or if it was somebody who, you know what I'm saying, could swallow swords, or if it, you know what I mean, it was just whatever. And there was that one time when they had the New York City Breakers on there. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that. Yeah.
We got wind of it through, TV Guide or whatever. Somehow we figured it out, and everybody watched that episode. You know what I mean? And That's Incredible was already a wildly popular TV show.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
So, because it had, what's his name? Wasn't Joe Theismann on there or something like that? Or not Joe Theismann, the quarterback for the Vikings.
Warren Moon?
No. Not Tarquini. Oh my God. The quarterback, man. He was the old school quarterback of the Vikings.
Fran Tarkenton.
Fran
Tarkenton. Fran Tarkenton was a host of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it was already like it would be like the equivalent, like not Tom Brady, but you know what I mean? Like a popular quarterback was on that TV show. So it was already a TV show that everybody was watching. So when you watched it and it had the breakers on, that's when you knew it was going to be something, because it had made it to that point. Other than that, it was just local TV or word of mouth type of things. You know what I mean? Wild Style. If you ever got a chance to watch Wild Style, that was kind of like something that was like, you knew about it, but you never saw it. You know, it was like on PBS, like, you know, Wild Style was like on PBS out here. But, you know, I didn't think it would be something like it is today. Like, you would never think there was something you could get
My
paid to do.
my father had Wild Style, Beat Street, and Crush Groove all on the same tape.
Exactly. You could set it to long play and have an 8-hour.
Those three movies was like life on one
Hell
tape right
yeah.
there.
Hell yeah, that tape was used to get play too. I'm
Yes.
trying to tell you. I had one like that. It had Breaking 1 and 2 and Beat Street on it.
Nice.
Boogaloo.
For real, you can make
baby. I was just to
So
this on
the thing about Breaking is that we had Breaking 1 and 2 on there, and then the third movie was the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was in Breaking 2.
exactly. Yeah.
He was actually in the first one, the beginning at the very first part when they were on the beach dancing. He was on the beach dancing with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, yeah.
So
that's what I say. Like we influence so much of the culture after the fact that just that one genre, in you know, which is hip hop, influenced so much more than rock and roll, I believe, because it's still the culture now.
And look how spread out the culture is. Like, we kind of abandoned the b-boy breakdancing, but it's more popular overseas in other countries. They're keeping the spirit of breakdancing and b-boying alive more so than hip-hop is today in America.
And that's the influence of the culture.
Yeah.
It's not just the breakdancing that they're influenced by. Have you seen they have whole areas of Japan that are strictly to Japanese people that are trying to, and I want to say this loosely, and I don't want to be like offensive or anything like that, but they are trying to live their life as Black people, as African Americans. You know what I mean?
I saw that in New York.
It's not by disrespect either. It's out of admiration. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, it's like it's a fine line. You know what I'm saying? But I understand it. You know what I mean? So it's like we influence so much more than we know that it's kind of hard to even show that you got to look at it like very carefully, because you know, some people would take it as offense, whereas other people would take it, like you said, it's flattery. You know, it's a form of flattery. You know.
But you know, I could appreciate that aspect of it, because if you think about it, man, they value the culture of hip hop to the effect that they want to live it. And
exactly.
One thing that KRS One, I remember he said one time, I think it was on a song, "Rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live." Exactly. And with the elements of hip hop, I mean, I grew up in a religious home, and we couldn't listen to a lot of stuff because we were always in church. And I remember just listening to the first song that I actually ever paid attention to, and y'all gonna laugh, because hip hop was out for a while. My cousin was in the Run DMC, and I'm like, okay, all right, you know. But the Pee Wee's Dance by Joski Love was like that song that kind of like, okay, so this is like, you know, okay. And then hip hop had already been on the scene, but then again, we lived in Georgia, so we saw what we saw based on, you know, whatever music videos we could watch, because everything was limited down here, man. But the effect that that particular the genre of hip hop has had, it's worldwide, man, and it's actually ushered in, you know, different facets of pop culture. One other thing that I wanted to bring up too, speaking of pop culture, the name that comes to mind for me was Hank Aaron. Because when he did what he did, you know, you had your Jackie Robinsons and your Satchel Pages that came before him, but Hank Aaron was that dude that came, and he was the, you know, Black guy, clean cut, didn't bother nobody. He went out on the field, he did what he did, and you know, of course, when he, you know, the home run record, people were cheering for him, man. You know, of all walks of life. And I think that kind of opened up the door in terms of acceptance when it came down to black people in those particular, you know, fields of sports, because a lot of people were upset when Barry Bonds beat his record. A lot of people,
especially
you know,
in the circumstances behind or
right, exactly.
how it happened. You know,
And I think
like you said, from somebody who was a clean cut and well respected person who didn't do. You know what I mean? So yeah,
exactly. And I think he contributed in pop culture in that way because, you know, you see jokers from Georgia rocking, you know, Atlanta Braves wear, you know, Hank Aaron's jersey, that type of thing. So, one other person, I'm gonna leave it to y'all. I'm gonna give the floor to y'all. A lot of people don't know about a guy named Gerald Lawson. We're talking about pop culture. You know, video games are a part of pop culture. Gerald Lawson was the guy that created the video game cartridge that allowed for Atari and Nintendo and other companies to actually utilize that medium to make video games on cartridge form. You know, for everybody that's our age range, you know, it wasn't always streaming and downloading video games. They were on cartridges. And as crude as it was back then, you know, he was the innovator of that technology, and it was improved upon after that. So a lot of folks don't know anything about him, you know, and it's a shame because the very things that we do, you know, playing video games and whatnot, he had a big part to do with that. But, you know, that's a part of history that doesn't really get taught. So I'm going to pose the question again, and I'm going to start with you, Matt. You've been kind of quiet. Are there any figures in society that you feel have contributed to pop culture? And
my man with Aaron Magruder, the Boondocks, man. How can we not, you know, the Boondocks, man? That is, you talk about pop culture. I mean, I remember when that dropped, I was like 19 when that came out. And next thing you know, it was a TV show, and it was just, they were just one upping themselves every season. They go higher and higher. They find somebody and they ride them. And you know, you had that. You had, and I told you this was Bill Cosby.
It was in the Source, in the back of the Source. We had the Boondock strip in the back of the Source.
Yeah,
and it just kind of, even when it came out as the full animation, I was like, damn. Like they didn't came up, like I didn't even think about it. Like I was like, it's like, okay, you know what I mean? And let's go. And it just kind of took on a whole life of its own. Like it was just kind of like the Boondocks was like watching, like when the Chappelle show, you know what I mean? Everybody was watching.
That's another one. You know,
that's what I was gonna say Dave Chappelle. Like, you know what I mean? Like he definitely changed the course of our pop culture from what, 2005 or so until now.
Yeah, and then that, you know, it just, when he took off after that Charlie Murphy episode, that was all she wrote, man.
Yeah, brought people back, you know, brought back people to recognize the people before us, like you said, Rick James, you know what I mean, who was a rock star in his own right, you know what I mean, whose story is
influential too as well. He was influential.
His story alone, like, you know what I'm saying, I was telling my wife the other day, like my boy Rick James came to Motown and was tasked with saving the label and had the Temptations singing in the background on his first album. And then turned around and produced their album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's that. If you are basically, in the lack of a better word, you are the Kanye West for the Motown sound, then you influence pop culture and black culture immensely. You know what I mean? So, you know, you can't forget about people like that. I mean, I know people would like to discredit him because of his, you know, the issues he might have had, you know, outside of music. You know what I mean? But, you know, you can't take away what he did, you know, so.
Bootsy Collins?
Oh, who can forget about Bootsy, man? You know?
Yeah. I mean,
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, you know what I'm saying? Like, he made people go back and change the way they play guitar immediately.
And he played it in such an odd way.
Yeah, left-handed.
Yeah, left-handed, man. The guitar upside down.
strung backwards, you know. So
Bobby Brown.
the king of pop,
Hey man, Ghostbusters.
Michael
Man.
king of R&B, king of R&B. Michael Jackson was the king of pop.
And we find out that the proton pack was not a toy.
Yep.
But see, look, Michael Jackson was even coined the king of pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, Michael Jackson, Jackson 5.
Yeah.
I mean, Janet Jackson alone transformed MTV in the 90s.
Michael Jackson was and the Jackson 5 are the reason why they created Right On magazine.
Yeah.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, was to follow them.
Yep. It was to basically just shadow.
Yeah, to
Right On.
write about them. Right On magazine.
Wow.
And Right On magazine discovered Prince while he was signed at it was either Sony or whatever or Polygram, whoever he was signed to. He wasn't getting no pub, so he wrote into the magazine and told them they needed to come and follow him and peep him out. So they came and checked him out and found out he was signed, and then heard him play all the instruments, the guitar and the drums and everything. The editor was like, "Man, you that dude," and
Full package.
yeah. So they were like, well, what's up with him? And they're like, "Man, we can't give none of his records away." You know what I mean? So they promoted him in the magazine, and the rest is history.
You had that Minnesota sound came up from up there.
Yep.
And
Everybody talk about influence. The Minnesota sound like spread like the wildfire back in the early 80s. Everybody was using that sound.
Think about that.
and one
Think
thing
about that. And the Minnesota sound was so tough with Prince and the time, and all his little subgroups that people forget Mint Condition.
Oh yeah, they were hugely influenced by Prince. But speaking
I
on
want
Prince,
to credit Al Rainey for putting me on to Mint Condition full force. It's a joke. He know what I'm. It's a joke.
if people in the chat, if you're not aware, Mint Condition is an R&B group that came out in the 90s, and I'm telling you, man, it was one of those things where dealing with black music, especially black music has gone in phases, right? I don't know why we talking about music right now, but black music is gone.
That's popular culture. That's what it is. Music
Right.
is popular culture. So if there's no music, there's no culture.
Right.
So it's all it's all one in one. It's like you have to talk about music because the music influences culture. And
look at the influence of George Clinton, Parliament, the Funkadelic, that whole 70s funk era, and he really took it to a level that everybody wanted to have funk in their music.
Mm-hmm.
And see that I was gonna mention that, well, not necessarily that specifically, but the fact that in the 70s, of course, 50s and 60s, you had your doo-wop sound. With 60s, you had your, 50s, you had your blues, 60s, you had your, 50s and 60s, you had your doo-wop sound. The 70s was just, you talk Parliament, Earth, Wind and Fire, Lakeside, Dash Band, Kool and the Gang. You had a situation where black artists were musicians. You had the 15, 20 piece bands, and everything was like inclusive in that band. The singers, the songwriters, the bassists, the horn players, the whole nine. And I think that added a facet to the music, even though it's kind of degraded from there. Mint Condition came from that era where it was a lot of bands that did their own thing, But going back to Prince, I think Prince was an innovator because aside from Elton John and maybe Freddie Mercury, there really weren't any other artists, to my knowledge, that was pushing the envelope like Prince was. Yeah. I remember when Prince first came out,
The androgynous look.
Right, the androgynous look, he wearing stilettos on stage playing
right
with
I'll never forget his interview with Clark with
Big Clark,
All American Clark.
and the way he was talking, barely talking, and the hand signals and stuff. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? He's shy as fuck and he's weird.
But then again, he go ahead, Sean.
But when you really listen to his music, and it's like it's so impactful. You know, like you don't want to listen to it because of how weird he is, but you can't deny the impact that music has. That like
all that music made us feel good about who we were.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's why I say it influenced the culture because
it
made us feel good. You know what I mean? So, and for when we go out in public, no matter how people were acting, we looked good. We felt good. We translated it. We were like a mirror of what that was, and we were the closest thing to it.
And you want to talk about somebody like Prince? Can't forget Sylvester.
Yeah.
Can't forget Sylvester.
So Sylvester was definitely pushing the envelope.
He was pushing the envelope, but that person could sing.
Yeah.
He brought it down.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Bill Cosby, regardless of his situation. Bill Cosby
absolutely
was a major force back in the day. Red Fox,
Richard Pryor,
comedian,
yeah.
So all the black comedians, and what they did for
the bitches go berserk.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which way is up as a classic?
Your boy right now is on Remo.
That's
another thing too, man. And I talk about this all the time, and I can't wait, Sean, to the 24th. We can talk about Dolomite. A lot of people understand that the blaxploitation genre actually paved the way for a lot of black people after that era was over with to start independently doing their own movies and stuff. And with the blaxploitation genre, it was a situation that was set up to explain how things work. I'm gonna give you an example. There was it might have been Shaft. I can't. It was either Shaft or it was what was the name of the movie? Fred Hammer. Golly, Black Caesar. It was one of the two. Don't quote me on this, but it was one of the blaxploitation movies where at the time they were actually distributed in independent like theaters. It wasn't distributed by a major company.
Yeah, they were cheap budget films.
Say what now?
They were cheap budget films.
Right, they were cheap budget films, but what happened was that it was either
I can't wait to see the boom mic and
Dolomite. Yeah. It was either Black Caesar or it was Shaft, one of the two. But they saw the amount of money that the movie made, and they decided, I think it was Warner Brothers, they decided that they wanted to get in on a piece of the action, and that's when the decline of blaxploitation movies started, like in the mid 70s and stuff. But vernacular that was used, even some of aspects of hip hop, Snoop, a lot of his persona came from blaxploitation and stuff. So
bro, I mean the nicknames all from Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again.
Geechee Dan, yo.
Biggie Smalls originated from
Let's Do It Again. You're right.
Exactly.
So
the 40th Street Black and all that.
Right, exactly. So yeah, you got a lot of stuff, man. Of course we skimmed over Michael Jackson. I mean, he was 80s was not the 80s without him, and like Matt said about Bill Cosby, in spite of what you think about the guy, he was that dude. Nobody could do anything greater than that cat. Thriller came out, man, and this dude was like Black Jesus, and we'll probably never see another artist like that again. But the way he actually helped mold and shape, he was one of the reasons why, speaking of pop culture, back before Thriller, the video, they didn't air black videos on MTV. When MTV first started, it was all about pop and rock.
Yeah,
they didn't want to gamble on black people back then. But when Michael Jackson dropped Thriller, it was a wrap. That opened up the door for other black artists. Because I remember watching before David Bowie died, he spoke on that, and he was talking about his influences as far as black artists. James Brown, Otis Redding, which I was shocked. I'm like, wow, David Bowie is a fan of Otis Redding from Megan Georgia.
Think about that though. Michael Jackson got that Pepsi sponsorship, and then that Pepsi sponsorship is what pushed them over the top as far as the pop culture, because it made it pop culture. You know what I mean?
Right. So, it was one of those things where it was like, you look at it and it's like, wow, man, this dude is like, he's huge, and I ain't gonna lie, man, even to this day, I mean, people ask me what my top 10 favorite albums are. Thriller is on top. It's in that top 10. I'm a firm believer. If he had dropped every single on that album could have went number one had he dropped them as a single.
Hold on just a second. We're gonna stay on Michael Jackson, but I want to say this. G-Man is 100% correct. George Washington Carver, because he provided the sweet potato. That sweet potato that I had tonight at dinner was off the chain, and I want to give George Washington Carver a shout out. Also, check out Miseducation of the Negro, by the way. Great book. A salute to Black Panther. Everybody had that book at the house. We got it right there. Everybody got that book on the shelf.
Yeah.
And then Brother Cruz, we all did that, brother. Bassif, BASF, Bassif. Everybody had a Bassif tape at that.
New York Hot Tracks is what I remember, because my mom, she would record all the New York Hot Tracks and video music box, and me and my brother would rewatch the tapes. That's where we see all the Run DMCs, the Houdinis, David Bowie, all the music acts from the 80s. And let's not, the 80s was fucking amazing when it came to all the musical diversity that came through that era. It's just amazing. And just to see all those videos, even if they were weird, they were creative.
Yeah.
There will never be, and the G-Man like to say squirrel, there will never be another era like the 80s, man. The 80s was just something
perfect storm.
The 80s gave us Orange Juice Jones, bro.
Hey, how you doing? You think I'll be cool?
Classic.
Yeah,
it's like cornflakes without the milk.
Close your mouth because you cold busted.
You said I'm just squirrel trying to get a net.
He said, I'm so upset with you. I don't know what to do. My first impulse was to run up on you. Do a Rambo. Jab and flat blast both of you. But I ain't want to mess up that $3,700 Minx coat. So instead,
bro, only black people can come up with something like that, bro.
That's what I'm saying. We were so cool. And it was like, we made everybody want to be cool like us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Soul
Train.
G-Man brought this up earlier. Soul Train, man. Dark Cornelius, man. Yeah, man. Rest in peace. But yeah, this Soul Train, man, was one of the shows. You had Soul Train. Before that was Studio 50. What was that show?
Soul Train was the Black American Bandstand.
Yeah, American Bandstand. Yeah,
Dick Clark tried to come up with his own version, Soul Unlimited.
Yeah,
Soul Unlimited.
And they talked about that in that Black Dynamite cartoon too.
Yep.
They had an episode
Soul
about
Unlimited, man. What about Video Soul?
Oh,
Video Soul.
Donnie Simpson, man.
Yeah, man.
The early, like the 80s and 90s BET, when they had Video Soul, Rap City, Teen Summit.
They had your boy working at McDonald's.
Calvin was
Calvin got a job.
He had everybody in the hood happy for him. I'm like, damn, Calvin was the plug. He just didn't know it.
Then he was the manager at Verizon.
Hey man, they go back to that Dave Chappelle skit, man. Like, Calvin got a job. And just say, yeah, let's go see what he doing. He put that back.
Calvin ain't shit.
Yeah, man. Rap City. Joe Clapp, Big Liz.
Black Arnold.
Yeah.
But yeah, these books were like huge influential to me as a kid,
Yeah.
And I don't even know if these was in schools, today, because they need to be.
Oh no, hell no.
For kids to learn.
I think I was like, I don't know, I might have been like an 8th or 9th grade, and my grandmother gave me a history of the Black civilization.
I had a book called Black Dialogues.
That's
dialogues.
Yeah, I can find
like short stories.
Hold on, it should be on the shelf.
And here's the book, Al, Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you done brought back some memories right there.
Remember, they brought it up yesterday on Near Nirvana. The comic book form of this book. And I was like, yeah, I have the original book. It's been a long time since I read it. Harriet Beecher Stowe.
I remember that shit.
Man, I remember Friday night videos, bruh. Let me tell y'all a story. I done told it to some certain people. But like I just mentioned, I grew up in a religious family, religious background. And my mom, may she rest in peace. Anything that wasn't gospel music was considered the blues. I don't care if it was rap, if it was rock. She called it the blues. Like everything. Run DMC was the blues, right? So what happened? Okay.
Here you go, Remo. The Black Dialogues.
Okay.
So what happened, which is the reason why I'm so like I love the 80s. Like I love the 80s. Like everything about the 80s, not just urban R&B music, but pop music, the random. I'm a huge fan of them, Culture Club, the whole 9 yards. So, I wanted to be in the know.
Man, Showtime and Carlo, bro.
Yeah. So the way that I actually came in the know, we had a Curtis Mathis. If y'all know. It was a floor model TV downstairs. We had upstairs and downstairs where, matter of fact, where I'm at now. And I used to take a blanket on Friday nights and I would drape it because my mom, she slept light. She slept upstairs, but she was like Daredevil. She could hear shit, So I ain't lying, man. I'm telling you the truth. So I threw a blanket over the TV now. Like combustion be damned, I didn't care, and that TV could have blew up and all them shards of glass just struck me in my eyes and I'd be blind. But I stayed up and watched Friday night videos, man, from like, I think it came on like at 11 o'clock and it probably signed off like at 2 o'clock. Bruh, Rick Springfield, the Rhythmics, Jesse Johnson's Review, one of Prince's folks, Sheila E., everybody, man, like Bananarama. It's like, bruh, I
love
stepping out. Say what now?
I love that show.
I'm telling you, man. And then TBS had one that came on called Night Tracks. And then USA had a show called Up All Night, and they had videos too. So
as well as other things.
Considering that Michael Jackson was so big in the 80s, my mom had like 5 Michael Jackson tapes, just Michael Jackson stuff alone, and I ate all that shit up. I ate all that up.
Man, I had a cousin, man. She had like 5 copies of Thriller on LP because she would play the album so much that she would scratch it, and her mom would go out and buy another copy, man. We went to Atlanta for a family dinner, went into her room, and she got 4 of them on the wall. Like, what? Like, you love Michael Jackson, don't you? But any other people that y'all feel that's been a contribution to pop culture, man?
Sidney Poitier.
Oh, yeah, man. The slap heard around the world.
Slap her around the world. Raisin in the Sun. I remember when I first watched that movie, I felt for the mom. I thought she was going to beat his ass. But man, he was such a huge part of my childhood. Whether it's the 60s movies, whether it's the movies with Bill Cosby, even his comeback stuff, in the 90s with like Snickers and stuff. Like he was such a huge influence on pop culture, being the first strong, prominent black male actor in Hollywood, so he was a big part. And then I gotta bring up Debbie Allen.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I gotta bring up Debbie Allen. She
married Norm Nixon from where is he from? Al? From Macon, Georgia.
Macon, Georgia.
Yeah, but Debbie Allen was a huge part of 80s music, 80s dancing, and fame. Rest in peace, Irene Cara, who we lost like last year. But and of course she changed Different World from that dry, boring ass first season and made the show what it is that we all know and love. So,
and you know what? The now that you mentioned that, Sean, that actually helped pop culture because from what I understand, from what I've read rather, when A Different World actually changed their format into kind of like more of a HBCU type college, they said that during that time frame, enrollment in the HBCU colleges were the highest that they had ever been. And I can remember how it affected pop culture because remember the medallions and stuff, the African medallions and stuff, and the shirts. Of course, hip hop played a role in that, but I had a couple of them suckers. You know, we are protected by the red, the black, and the green with the key. I ain't gonna say the rest, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But
I'm just even with that though, like the influence that we all of our influences, even things like that, like I was saying last night, you know, I was influenced more so like politically, you know what I mean, at an early age by, like I said, the Black Panther Party, because it was from my backyard and my grandparents were heavily involved. You know what I mean? Like I met like Huey Newton at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So when like those type of things you take for granted, you know what I mean? Because you're too young to really understand how big they are until after the fact. And then when people bring it up, it's like, oh yeah, I know who that is. You know what I mean? But those type of situations always kind of influence you in other ways as well, like to kind of stay on your toes and watch out for certain things, you know what I mean, that happen in society, and know what the, you know, what it is that you're seeing, you know, whereas other people would take things and they don't see it the same way. But like things like that even influence the culture because of some of the, you know, the battles that we had as a people, you know what I mean? And, you know, I guess you could say some of it would influence people to kind of give us, you know, like respect as far as to see how far we've come. You know what I mean? Like you take basically something from nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we weren't as a culture. No one's supposed to do anything, but we definitely didn't have any favors. You know what I mean? Like you're getting it all out the mud, literally. You know what I mean? Like you're getting what somebody else don't want, and you're making it yours. You know, and making it desirable. You know, for lack of a better word.
Eartha Kitt, man, Catwoman. You know, all the way back then. You know, put that in retrospect to look at being black and actor back then. You know,
in the popular TV show.
A popular TV show, yeah, a major popular TV show. Brother Al,
being somebody in there.
Let me. I'm gonna say a couple of quick things. I'm gonna double back to what Sean just said about Sidney Poitier. Fun fact about him: he was the second black actor or thespian actress to receive an Oscar. First was Hattie McDaniel for Gone with the Wind. Crazy part, she couldn't come to the event because she was black.
Oh, you ain't coming up
crazy, here? But she won for Best Supporting Actress, but she couldn't go to the event because she was a black woman.
You won that.
Huh? So what?
You won that. Get out of here.
Right, exactly. She had to be outside. You know.
I got to do my impression of Sidney Poitier. They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Now, the third black person, another part of pop culture, the third black person to ever win an Oscar was Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, for Shaft, the Shaft theme.
The theme of Shaft, right? So,
South Park,
yeah, Chef. But what I was gonna say, man, I don't forgot what I was.
No, you were talking about my girl that got the Oscar. You were talking about the Oscars, the people that won the Oscar.
Addie.
Oh yeah, I know what I was gonna say. You know, I found out who was black. Y'all remember Carol Channing?
Yep. The singer, the old lady that was
She was black.
See, that's colorism at its finest, right?
All right.
Honorable mention, Michael McDonald.
Hey man. Hey.
He came from somewhere back in the world. We got some honorable mentions. We got Bob James. We got Michael McDonald. Daryl Hall.
Oh, and John O.
Hey, what's your boy Paul Hardcastle? You got what's your boy there? What's your boy? What you want to do for love? What's your
Yeah.
Bobby
But, hey,
Caldwell?
what's my boy though? The jazz player, Boney James, man.
Boney James, yeah, him. You got we got honorable mentions.
Yeah, you got
You might well throw Snow in there.
But you know what? While we on jazz, you got George Duke. Well, I guess we'll save all that for the jazz show. I mean, for the music show. Yeah, we'll save all that for the music.
I got some stuff for that because
we got tons.
George Duke is in my family, so I got some stuff about George Duke. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear these stories, man.
Yeah. Take some time. Let me try.
Average white band, yeah, average white band.
Oh my God, bro.
KC.
Heatwave.
Oh, Heatwave was great.
Slide of Family Stone. So we can go down and list it, man. Well, we can go.
Hey. And Michael McDonald did the classic song with Patti LaBelle, man.
On my own.
Man, they played that at my 8th grade.
Hey, that song got him invited to all the cookouts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey man, off topic, my favorite Michael McDonald song is "Sweet Freedom," bro. I love that song, bro.
Boy, man, me and my boy got a running joke.
I mean, yeah, Moby there, man.
Moby there with James Ingram.
Yeah.
My boy, he said he was on his way to work one time, and it was like 3-4 in the morning. He said he pulled up to a stop sign, and there was a white dude next to him singing at the top of his lungs, "Sweet Freedom." In the car next to him, he said he couldn't believe it. He had to let him go ahead and drive off.
I know what I was gonna say. We talking about pop culture and the effects of pop culture, and y'all know I preach this a lot because I'm a huge X-Men fan. A lot of people give Stan Lee credit for the character traits of Professor X and Magneto, and the correlation between the two has been akin to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Well, it was not Stan Lee that actually drew those parallels. It was Chris Claremont. So the whole gist of how Professor X was, mutants could live in peace with everybody else, as opposed to Magneto with by any means necessary. That was Chris Claremont, drawn from Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. It wasn't Stan Lee. Stan Lee did a lot, but he didn't do that. Now, the X-Men were an allegory because a lot of times you'll see during Black History Month that meme that always come around during Black History Month, but it is not correct. Stan Lee said the X-Men was an allegory for bigotry, but bigotry and racism are two different things. Two totally different things.
Yeah, you can watch All in the Family to see that straight bigotry.
Exactly. He was bigoted toward his son-in-law.
But his favorite was Sammy Davis too.
Exactly. That's the crazy, ironic thing. But yeah, that was Chris Claremont. So we're gonna throw Chris Claremont in there with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in terms of the contributions that it played to pop culture. Because
and this also leads to like the Black comic book creators that we know. I know you guys started it on the Comic Call page, but Billy Graham, amazing artist, who worked on the Jungle Action run, Black Panther. God rest his soul. He passed. This is the anniversary month where he passed away, and it's also his birthday month, and that's Dwayne McDuffie. Huge influence on the culture and of creating characters like Static and Hardware and Icon, and being a writer and producer for a lot of projects, both with Marvel and DC. So he was a huge part. Matt Baker, of course, Matt knows
the master.
His story is pretty interesting when you read up on him, but he was such an iconic artist, and G-Man brought up Rodney Barnes, who I still need to check out that Blackula book that he put out. I still need to.
Oh my God, I forgot about that book. Oh man,
I gotta.
You got it.
Book. No, I don't have it yet, but I have to get it because I'm like I was watching Black Media Man Cave this week, and he just screamed Blackula Scream, and I was like, man, I feel like watching that movie again because I love me some William Marshall, man. Amazing, another amazing actor,
dude, man.
The iconic voice. I mean, you talk about iconic voices between him, James Earl Jones, Morgan Freeman, and stuff like, bro. The voices on
the voices of gods.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of huge influence in Black comic book creators, you know, that came over the years.
Cool, man. Well, y'all have to forgive us because we didn't really do any type of research or studying on this. We
Dennis
were basically
Cohen.
just Dennis Cohen, Larry Stroman.
And you know, I think it was Matt that brought it up a couple years ago when I did my 28 Days of Black Comic Creators. But even I found out a couple years prior to that when Lady Death was always drawn by African American. And I did not know that. You know, I thought, you know, it's Lady Death that was the bad girl of the 90s in terms of comics. And like that's something that, you know, Brian Pulido did. So I didn't know that the guy who drew her famously in the 90s was African American. You know, Steve Hughes. And that was pretty cool to find out, you know, that he was the responsible for her iconic look.
I've forgotten the brother who it was a brother who actually was one. He drew. I forgot the guy's name. I have to ask Jeff next time I talk to him. I'll see him Friday. So I'm gonna ask him again. He was a brother he actually drew Batman at one time, but he didn't get credit for it early. It was early on in the Silver Age.
I heard that story. Yeah.
It's a brother that he drew Batman at one particular point. Never got credit for it, of course, you know, back then. But want to give a shout out to also the Junkyard Dog.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna talk these black wrestlers. Abdullah the Butcher.
Hey, Big Cat Ernie Ladd.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Patterson.
The Bobo Brazil.
Kamala.
Yeah. The Ugandan Giant. What's my boy? Teddy Atlas? Not Teddy Atlas. Lord Tony Atlas.
You know, he was actually primed to
Rocky
win the
Johnson.
NWA.
Yeah, Rocky. That's what I was thinking about. Sean, I was glad I couldn't get it out my mind. Get it out my mouth. That's what it was. Yeah.
Ron
Simmons. Absolutely. Butch Reed.
Natural Butch Reed.
Teddy Long.
Holla.
Win NWA title. World title.
Slick.
Natural Butch Reed.
Yeah. We black wrestlers, man, you know.
Yes, sir. Not Coco Beware.
Hey, I'll
play.
I will say though, when people bring up Coco Beware and like, oh, that guy was a loser, he's a jobber and all, I'm like, y'all need to watch his Memphis stuff because that's where he was way better. And
there's a difference. There's definitely a difference. Yeah. Once they got to kind of WWF, they're a little different. That's why I liked when they stayed in WCW personally. You know what I mean? Because they were actually able to not be cooning. You know.
It wasn't even that, man. Most times, if you went to WWF, they were gonna repackage you anyway, regardless of who you were.
Usually, it was gonna be bad. Like you wasn't gonna be like
right.
It wasn't gonna be something you were gonna be proud of. You was gonna be doing it for the check.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know, like,
Coco Beware flapped around with Frankie with that colored hair for a long time, bro.
What was his partner, Austin Noel? You know, Pretty Young Things back in the mid '80s.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
hey, man, he was the one that teamed with Sputnik back in the late '60s. Sputnik used to get heat for teaming up with black guys because you know he always goes to the bars and hung out with the African Americans, so he would team up with them and get massive heat from the white audience, but cheers from the black audience.
Dusty Rhodes.
Rhodes was barbecue eating boy. Who was his wife, the black lady on there? What was her name?
Oh, Sapphire.
Sapphire.
Who Dusty Rhodes?
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes like
the American Dream.
He liked him dark.
Hard time.
You forgot about him.
Farouk.
Farouk.
Yeah, Mark Henry, Jazz, yeah.
Well, Harlem Heat was my team in WWF.
That was it. GWF, that man. That is GWF.
Hey man, unless we forget that gaff, man, that's part of pop culture too.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
Hey, you talking about when he said
Hey, Sean, what boy said.
he was like, "Damn."
Hey, he
I
thought
said,
he was gonna get
loud
that.
on here.
Look, I'm sorry, sir. You're no longer employed with WCW.
Hey, hold it.
Look in the future.
Hey, you seen was it Cam Reddish or the other night when they him and they was talking to Brooklyn after they won, and he said, "Yeah, you know, we had a bunch of nice looking guys out here, no homo. They fined that dude $40,000." Oh, I was like, "Ooh, I guess you wish you didn't say that again." Huh?
Yeah, you gotta watch what you say now.
Even the reporter was like, "Oh yeah, the league office is gonna like you saying that."
Hey, before we end this segment, I want to give a shout out.
brought up Flip Wilson.
Oh
Nick,
shit,
Hey man,
Flip
Wilson was in. Hold up, when you talking about Flip Wilson, you can't forget Nipsey Russell too.
Yeah,
Nipsey Russell.
Sammy
And
Davis, man.
And I was gonna bring up, Sammy Davis pop
Mom's
culture because he
Mobley.
was the Rat Pack.
MC boy Gregory Hines.
Oh
Is he
man,
like
Gregory
Gregory
Hines.
Yeah, you like
You talk
Gregory
about
Hines.
you talk about tap dancing. You know, I used to tap dance in school when we used to do
What? Fun fact. Y'all heard that? Fun fact. Hey man,
we used to
cut
do
that.
like
Y'all cut that and paste that. It need to be cut.
No. But I mentioned this like years ago, but we used to do like tap dancing classes, you know, because we do plays and stuff back in kindergarten, first and second grade. You know, I ain't done that shit in years, so don't tell me if I can still do it.
Hey man, I wasn't gonna ask you, but
You put up a Hot 181.98. He said, "Can you tap down for 4 minutes?" He'll figure out a way to get it done.
I wasn't gonna ask you.
Yeah. Hey, have you guys seen Mendices and Cameron tap dancing against each other?
Nah.
Yo, go on their page, go on Cameron's page, and go on Mendices' page, and they have a thing where they tap danced against each other. You can probably watch it. Watch it. Bring it up. If you can bring it up, it's on their page, and that shit is hilarious. But that shit is real.
Hey, I was gonna ask you if you ever tap dance to Putting on the Ritz by Taco.
No.
I'm just asking. Hold up. Let me say this right quick. Shout out to we totally forgot about Pam Grill. She was very influential in pop culture. Lola Falana, Jane Kennedy back in the day.
I'm laughing at Booker T, man. I was looking at that promo.
Lola Falana, all those they actually ushered in that whole aspect of black women that were looked at as models and whatnot.
Vanetta McGee, a lot of those female black actresses back in the blaxploitation days.
Carol Speed. Vanetta McGee starred in Truck Turner.
Truck Turner. That's Truck Turner. Man, you ain't taking going that Truck Turner. Man, I'm out of here.
Hey man, that dude looked across the street. Oh, hold up. He looked across the street. There was a construction work. He said, "Hey man, that's Truck Turner, man." He said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "Man, I thought you told me to kill him. That's Truck Turner, man." That Joe got up out of that. He said he did not want to die today. He did not choose violence. Truck Turner, ladies and gentlemen, please go watch Truck Turner. There's a lot of blaxploitation that we can suggest, but Truck Turner was Isaac Hayes. He was a bounty hunter. Fun fact about that, I just found out about because I posted about Isaac Hayes on my page. That movie Truck Turner was actually supposed to be based. It was a white guy that was supposed to be in the lead, and Ernest Borgnine was actually supposedly. They wrote the script for him.
That's cabby, bro. That's cabby. From Escape from
I'm
New
just
York.
saying. I'm just saying. So it didn't start off as a blaxploitation movie, but it ended up being one of the best ones out there, though, for real.
Hey, shout out to those.
So anybody got anything to add to the conversation?
Those blaxploitation superheroes like Fred the Hammer Williamson and Jim Brown. Those were our super Negroes growing up watching. You know, they never bullets never harmed them. You know,
Jim
they
Kelly.
were like
Carl Weather.
Yep, all of them guys, man.
Bullshit, Mr. Handman. Man, you come straight out of a comic book. Man, I hate how Mr. Han did. Don't know.
Need my money tonight. My money tonight. I have the woman back out there on that street working that pole.
And you know what? Another great actor. We lost 2 years ago. Yape Kodo.
Truck Turner, he's in Truck Turner.
Yep, Truck Turner. Across 110th Street, which people kind of talk about the song more than the movie, but the movie's
That movie was
fantastic.
wrong.
Hey,
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. No, that was The Thing, was it? Or was it Alien?
Alien.
Yeah, he was in Aliens.
Alien.
I got
one. He was also in Friday Foster with Pam Grier.
Yeah,
I got one for you. The Wire.
Oh man, you
Pop
talk
culture,
about,
man. Yeah.
talk about so that a majority black cast didn't get no accolades from the Emmys and stuff, but is highly revered, highly critically acclaimed.
one of the best
Just great
shows
show.
up there with it gets compared to The Sopranos in terms of quality.
She.
Oh,
And
wait.
Wait.
if I send you a video clip, where can you?
You put in the chat.
If I send you a clip, can you bring it up? If I send it through Instagram or not?
Yeah, I could do it. Me and Matt could do it.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up, Will? What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
Instagram DM, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can just send the link through the private chat, and me and Matt can actually put it up.
I just have the video on here. I can send it to you. I don't think I have the link. It's downloaded on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
Yeah, Robin Harris. Yeah. Baby Kid. Yep. Y'all don't go see that house party. Please don't go see that house party movie coming out. Please, we're not going to acknowledge that movie.
I never wanted to acknowledge.
I'm not going to.
I only acknowledged the first 3. That's it.
Yeah,
me too.
3 is pushing it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Three
All the years, 3 was bad. But when you go back and watch it with fucking
do
Bernie
got
Mac,
funny
Chris
parts.
Tucker, and stuff like that, I was like, man, 3 ain't so bad. Compared to 4 and 5 and the new one, shit. I watched the first 3 all day. Baby's Kids, man.
That's why I hate remakes.
Spike Lee.
Yeah, do the right thing, man. School days.
Mm-hmm. Made you want to go to black colleges.
Mm-hmm.
New York Knicks.
Magic Johnson and Jordan.
Don't get me started with Jordan, man. Growing up in New York, man, I had to deal with nothing but Jordan fans. I'm like, yeah, just because I come in with Nick gear, y'all gonna ridicule me, man? Stop.
Yeah, I remember the corner.
Yep. That's the prelude to The Wire. So many Wire actors in the corner that is almost like a prelude to it. And that story is really good too.
Did you send it, Remo?
I got it.
Mind you, this is Cameron, him indecent.
He sound like a typewriter.
Yo, they're not even trying to be funny. You see everybody around him trying.
Look at your buddy right here. Look at your buddy right there, man.
Oh my god! And them fools is trying not to be. They try to be serious without laughing. Everybody around them, and they try not to bust up laughing. That's hilarious.
The camera, I need to get back on that Purple Haze, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, guys, does anybody else want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I do right quick. I want to give another honorable mention. Remo gonna laugh at this shit because I sent it to him the other day.
Oh my God!
Y'all listen.
I don't care where you're from or what you got going on. Red bean and rice, you gotta have that motherfucking cornbread. Red bean and rice, hot sauce, smoked sausage, ham hock, and motherfucking cornbread, you gotta have motherfucking
That's your boy for life. I need that motherfucking cornbread.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
No, man, they need to stop.
That motherfucking cornbread.
Motherfucking cornbread.
Motherfucking cornbread. Hey, huh? That
You showed
motherfucking
that red beans and rice though. I was for sure like I can do this with red beans and rice.
Oh, hell no.
Hey,
that motherfucking cornbread.
He ain't lying though.
Internet undefeated,
lying.
bro. Internet is undefeated, bro.
Cornbread is made right. It's delicious. Yes.
Oh
it is.
Yeah. Hey, Will, y'all gotta have that motherfucking cornbread now, boy. That's gonna be the new running joke right here, boy.
motherfucking cornbread.
Motherfucking cornbread, boy. I said, yeah, you know that brother from the South, man. We know he from the South, from down in Jones County.
Cornbread, man.
Yeah.
Red beans and rice and that
Yeah.
motherfucking cornbread.
Cornbread.
That's it.
Well, that sounds good right now. For real. Well, we had a rousing conversation, man. You know, like I said, everyone was off the dome. We didn't get a chance to do any research, but we hope that you can take something from what we talked about tonight and apply it to your everyday life if you choose to. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to our final segment of the night, and it is...
All right, so kicking off, I showed a little this earlier. Static Shadows of Dakota #1.
Oh,
This is
snap.
Nice.
This is like 3 weeks worth of pulls. So
You sound like me, Sean.
yeah, and I showed this a little earlier, but yeah, this was the cover of choice for me. The Stormbreaker variant of the recent Storm facsimile. Now, have y'all seen the static facsimile?
Yeah, I got it.
I could not fucking pay $10 for a facsimile. I'm sorry. Fuck that shit.
I got it.
Y'all can kick rocks. $10 for a facsimile, and yet this is $4. Come on, man. This is a facsimile. Gargoyles #1. And then this issue #2 of the recent Gargoyles. This She-Hulk #7, Miracle Man variant. From my favorite book, Saga 61. And of course, another throwback to nostalgia, Darkwing Duck #1. Got the Ronin, Last Ronin, Lost Years #1. And I also got the Saturday Morning Adventures of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hey, Sean, have you started reading that Lost Years?
This one?
Yeah.
I just got it today. So I didn't get a chance to read it.
So is that a #1?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it comes out a lot quicker than the last one. Some Eric Larson goodness. Ant #6. Also an African-American character.
Ant.
And gotta follow that up with some Savage Dragon. Old Mako. Some Vampy goodness. Vampirella Year 1. Then you got Poison Ivy. And last, Frank Vazetta's Dawn Attack #2. and that is my haul.
All right. Well, it looks like Remo has left the building, so I'll go and leave Matt to go last to show everything he got. All right. Hold on. Camera ain't right. Camera ain't right. You know what? Forget it. I have it fixed by the next show. Okay.
Let's show what you got, man.
I am. All right. Monica Rambeau Photon number 2. Now this is my catch up because I haven't been in a minute, so I gotta find number 1. So I went ahead and picked this one up because I wanted to get it. This one was just a cover buy, and this is, I don't know what this book is about. I just saw the cover. Stuff of Nightmares number 1. Castlevania variant.
Nice.
Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths number 4. Number 5. Number 6. I got number 7 last week. No, I didn't. I got it today. My bad. It's from a different store. Number 7 is right here. I'll start reading these tonight, probably. But actually, I take that back. I'm going to read this. Nice House on the Lake, number 11.
Mm-hmm. I need to get caught up on that.
Yeah, I just need to read them 2 and I'll be through. And number 12. Great series, y'all. Really good series. I wouldn't be surprised they get option for a show. Avengers, X-Men, Judgment, Eternals, Judgment Day. Number 6. Got some Marvel this week. X-Men Red, number 8. Got to get caught up on all my X-Men stuff. Number 9. Come on, camera. Quit tripping. We only find them when they're dead. Number 14. Sabretooth and the Exiles, number 1. For Sabretooth to be an evil pharaoh dude, his teeth is very white. He used crushed whitening strips. Avengers, X-Men Eternals. This is a variant cover of R. Adams. I like the cover, so I picked it up. Can't lie. Storm looks very innocent. Y'all know me. I'm a kaiju dude. Ultraman, the mystery of Ultraman, Ultra 7. Yeah, I like it. I need to catch up, G-Man. I read up to issue 9, and I like the first story arc. Sean, you read it too, didn't you?
What?
That we only find them when we're dead.
No, I haven't read it.
You didn't? Okay. All right. But yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it, G-Man. That I read up. I need to catch up. Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants. There's a storyline going on. Sins of Sinister, which I couldn't find number 1, so I need to find that. DC versus Vampires All Out War number 5. My boy looking real evil and sick. Black Adam number 5 of 12. Black Adam number 6 of 12. Black Adam number 7 of 12. Avengers, X-Men, Eternals, Death to the Mutants number 3. And last but not least, X-Men Red number 10. At some point, I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm going to put the kibosh on all these books. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right, man. We're gonna keep it simple and sweet, man. One book this week, y'all. Young Brother.
Oh, you got it.
You got my copy of Young Brother.
Young Brother.
Yeah, Young Brother. That's it, man. That's it for you, boy, this week.
Man, come on, man. I know you got something in a box behind you.
And he's storing up for a 45-minute video the next time. So
basically,
I
that's what it is.
I got one book I want our heritage that's on the way.
You know, I didn't see that Wesley Snipes book. You know,
you talking about the one that the red one that everybody talking about? Are you talking about
the one that recently came out?
Oh, okay. You talking about his book that came out?
Yeah,
what
his book.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that yet. I heard about it today. That was it. I know that a Comic Con. You remember the one I got from Dave's there, the red one?
Mm-hmm.
That book sold for $500 this week.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, man. So I got to go get that graded, man. I knew it was a rare one, but I was like, man, I didn't know it was that tough, man.
Yeah. So I just want to plug that this coming Friday, me and VV, we're going to dive into The Spook Who Sat by the Door. If you've not heard of that movie, definitely check it out. It's on YouTube. If you can find the book, definitely get the book. It's an interesting movie that has a backstory where we talked about how those Eldridge Cleaver books was confiscated. Well, the FBI kind of banned this film like 2 weeks after it was in theaters. And it wasn't until like years later that they slowly let it come to fruition. But yeah, we're going to talk that movie. And then 2 weeks, meet Brother Al will be joining us. And we will talk the Dolomite movies.
That's right. We're going to be talking about some rat soup eating MFers. No business born secure MFers.
And also this week, also, ladies and gentlemen, Solid Gold Soul will be returning with the Comic Collector Geek that'll be dropping this week. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. Be sure y'all hit that bell so y'all be notified when they drop.
And we have another episode of a Saturday discussion, right? Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, yep, that is next Saturday. We're trying to secure next week's guest, so be on the lookout for that. And hope y'all enjoying this discussion as much as we are.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We've been having a lot of good discussions.
And like we said earlier, we're gonna try to keep it going after the fact, because like I said, Black history is American history. So, you know, word to your mother. But that's gonna do it. X-Clan. That's right. So that's gonna do it for us tonight. We thank y'all for sticking in with us to the end. We will be back next week, and hopefully, like Matt said, we'll have Black Comic Lords as our guests. If not, we'll be talking about something Black history oriented. So keep your eyes peeled. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and sub if you like what you see. Check out all of our other videos and check us out on Instagram. Each one of us have Instagram pages, and you can find us by process of going to the Comic Hall channel, page on Instagram. Thank you for the 600 subscribers. We do appreciate it. We moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Yep. The road to 1,000. The road to 1,000.
Hopefully we can get to 1,000 before the end of the year, but we'll see. But thank you everybody for being here on behalf of the Comic Hall crew that's not here. Chris and who else? X. Yeah, Chris and X. Remo had to go. He had to go to the grocery store, buy some eggs for $12 a carton. Mm-hmm. But on behalf of the Comic Hall crew, this is Al, aka Dusty Big Brown. Matt made it from Dimension X, and Sean, Puff Comics 83. Wishing you all a good night. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you all on the later while. Y'all take it easy.
Later, y'all. Peace.
that cornbread.